Hard sports all plays. Yeah. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Hard sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz, Thursday, November 17th, 2022. That's hard to believe. November. We're already in the middle of November already, man. Thanksgiving next week.
That's crazy.
This year's flying.
I'll tell you what's crazy, Gonzo. They're already putting up Christmas decorations around town. What the hell?
They don't even let Thanksgiving get here. As soon as Halloween ends, it's straight to Christmas anymore. People just
they've already cut down the national tree for the rotunda there at the Capitol. Like, it's not even. We're only like the 17th of November.
They ain't even made our turkey
we
yet.
push these damn holidays too damn hard.
They ain't even made our turkey yet, man.
Sons of. By the way, you see the price of a turkey these days? Shit. And if you guys don't know, yeah, they're getting smaller and they're getting more expensive. But if you don't know, the FDA has already approved U.S. Foods, I think it's the name of the company, to start basically biogenetically making their own meat in laboratories. I'm just saying, you think what your stuff is really chicken? Well, it's not really chicken anymore. It's some mystery meat.
It might taste like chicken.
Bro, think about it, man. We're biogenetically making our own meat now. What the hell?
Yeah, what happened just going out there, killing a turkey and eating it? What we got?
And if I'm a farmer, I'm pissed because if they do that, I mean, think of all the farmers that are going to be out of business. I mean, the chickens, I guess, will be happy, but the farmers, or cows, I guess, will be happy. But man,
farmers are going to have a lot of pet cows. A lot of pet cows running around.
Hey, I'm just saying, I'm not a mathematician, but the cows got to go somewhere.
Now there'll still be the people that there'll still be a market for it, just maybe not as many people because there'll still be the.
It just won't be as big as what it once was.
I want the people that want the natural.
But I wonder when they start putting out this new type of meat from these labs, will that then make cows and chickens and the meat that you get that direction? Will that make it more expensive or will it make it cheaper because people aren't buying it as much?
That's true. Probably. Yeah.
Hey, probably get that filet mignon for $1.25 on the dollar menu. I'm good with that. Hey, let's go.
Hit that. I'm sure inflation will hit.
It needs to hit soon, damn it.
Got quite a bit going on today, as you can see, joined by Jay McLovin, like always. But what do you think about this Thursday night football game? You think the Packers are going to be able to keep the momentum they got from beating your Cowboys last week, carry that momentum into the Titans game tonight? Titans are missing some stuff.
I mean, it's going to be a good game. Matter of fact, I got 3 fantasy players. I think I got Titans defense. I got Tannehill because Brady's on a bye, and then I got Henry. I got Henry at the running back. So yeah, they need to. I hope they have a good night against the Packers for my fantasy league. But overall, Treyon Burks just came back, so they're getting him back in the fold slowly but surely. So hopefully that will give them that third wideout outside of Woods and Nick Hine, I think his last name is, to kind of give them somebody else to throw the ball to. They do have, I think, 8 people on the injured reserve now, so we'll see how that takes effect. I know the center is one, a cornerback, and I think a linebacker. But I was looking at the previous game when they played the Broncos, and the guys that are all out weren't the guys that played against the Broncos. So, and if you know anything about that game, they had like 6 sacks, 2 interceptions on the Broncos. So I'm really kind of curious to see how that's going to translate over with the Packers. More specifically, what I'm worried about when it comes to the Packers and playing the Packers is, number one, they're finally starting to get Aaron Jones more involved and also A.J. Dillon more involved. So the running game, they're actually using the running game now, as you saw against the Cowboys. Secondly, we know that Watson finally had a career breakout game with those 3 touchdowns that he put on the Cowboys. So now there's going to be, I think, a paradigm shift in terms of who the wide receiver one is. At one point, it was Lazard. But I think now, slowly but surely, you're seeing Watson, the speed demon, the guy who could run everybody, now catching balls, now earning Aaron Rodgers' trust. So now I think it's going to shift over to where now it's going to be Watson as your wide receiver one, Lazard as your second option, and then they should have Tanyan as their third, because Dobbs is out with injury. I think Cobb is still out with injury. So, and then, of course, like I said, you got the run game, and the Packers defense is not, they're playing pretty well as too. So, yeah, I think the Titans are going to have their hands full, specifically have their hands full with Watson. And if Watson can continue to catch the ball like he has been in the last 2 games, that could very be the death nail in the Titans. Because I don't know that their wideouts are going to be able to stop them, number one. And then number two, if they do continue to use the run game like they've been using it, can the Titans off or defensive front control that run? I don't think they can on either one of those 2 fronts. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think it's going to be it's going to come down to which team can stop the run. If the Packers can't stop Derrick Henry, they're going to be in for a long night.
God, I hope not. Oh, he just runs all over them.
And then if the Titans can't stop, like you said, Jones and Dillon, they're going to be in for a long night, because then that's going to open up the passing game for the Packers. And
that's why I think Watson is going to be that X factor for that Packer offense, because they have not had a true wide receiver one that has that kind of speed that can beat the defensive backs and then get open. So that really opens up a lot for Aaron Rodgers. And if that continues to go down the path, I don't think the Packers are out of it, man. I think the Packers can very easily get back into that wild card push. They're 4-6? Yeah, they can easily get back into the push, but they're going to have to win the key games. And it starts with actually started with the Cowboys, but it carries through with tonight with Tennessee.
Yeah, I think it's going to carry through, because I don't know. Sometimes it just takes that one game where everything starts clicking a little bit, and you get these young players starting to play a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, I did a little research on that, I'll give you my little tidbit of information on that. When I was looking at the Packers, more specifically, like I was looking at like dark horses and things like that. When it comes to the Packers true competitor is going to be the NFC East. Right now they're at 4-6. I believe Washington at the bottom of the East is at 5-5, and then everybody else is 6-3 or better. So truthfully, the Packers are really, because they're not going to catch the Vikings. I think the Vikings, will keep the division lead and win out the division. So the Packers' only way into the playoffs is going to be through the wild card. So that means they're going to have to go through Dallas, New York, and Washington. And their best chance is to get past Washington. No, we know Washington is playing Houston tonight. So most likely Sunday. So most likely on Sunday, Washington should improve to 6-5. And in order for Green Bay to be able to stay in the hunt, they got to win out. Because like I said, the Washington Commanders is their true competition. Because I don't think they're going to catch 6-3 Dallas or 6-3 New York Giants.
No, probably not. They're going to have to get that wild card spot, because they're not going to get the division. Minnesota's way out too front. Minnesota would just have to basically lose every rest of their games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
I don't see that happening. I think Minnesota is going to be right there. I know a lot of people don't trust Minnesota yet, but I don't know what else you have to see. I mean, they have a pretty good defense. They have a running game. They have plenty of weapons for Kirk Cousins to throw the ball to. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I know some people still don't trust Kirk Cousins, but I mean, what's the guy have to do? Is he going to have to win a Super Bowl before people finally trust him?
Yeah, Kirk just has. There's just some quarterbacks in the league that just have that reputation, and unfortunately, Kirk Cousins is one of them. He just can't shake it. And like you said, I think another one that was like that was Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford, we all had him in that same category up until he won the Super Bowl with the Rams, and then people started giving Matt Stafford a little bit of respect, a little bit of, he's not so bad. He's all right, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, if he can win another Super Bowl, he'll be better than Aaron Rodgers. I know I was one that said that if Stafford ever got a Super Bowl, and he'd be better than Rodgers. So, I mean, you're kind of in that curse until you produce in the league, man. It's just what it takes.
Yep, that's true. We'll see. What do you think about this Buffalo game in the Buffalo and Cleveland game? They're expecting 4 to 6 feet of snow in Buffalo this weekend.
And they're playing who again? Is it the Jets?
Browns.
Browns. Okay, Browns. Yeah, well, Buffalo. Saw how Buffalo played in the snow against New England. We saw how that game turned out.
They're saying game could be moved because of impending snowstorm. 4 to 6 feet of snow expected in Buffalo over the weekend.
Well, get some damn snowplows out there. Come on. It's not my fault you have an open air stadium.
Well, I don't think that's the biggest problem because they'd play in that. I think the bigger problem is getting the parking lots and roads and everything clear so the fans
people can get there. Yeah. Well, hey, city of Buffalo, man, maybe you should have better pre-planning. Maybe we should be out there salting the roads beforehand. How about that? Can we just do a little pre-planning in the world? Shit. Look, Deontay finally ran faster.
I'm not gonna lie, Jay. You sounded straight up like my platoon sergeant back in the day. That's something he would have told me.
Yeah. Hey, Deontay said he was running late. I said, well, how about you run faster or go get on a diet?
All I told him was
Mark
Roger.
Mancini says, love this show. Got to get on with you. Got to get on with you boys. Just had Dusty Baker on my show last night. Hey, Mark, if you want to get on the show, you're more than welcome to. Just hit up either message one of us or hit up the ASAP Sports Network. We can work something out and get you on.
Man, Mark, you need to give me that hookup with Dusty Baker. I've been trying to get Dusty for a long time, and I'm a damn Houstonian.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark has much better connections than I do. Let me tell you, that guy flipped all the way up.
Yeah, message All Sports All Plays on Facebook or message myself, Chris Gonzalez. We'll get you taken care of, man. We'd love to have you on. But yeah, it's gonna be, man. I couldn't imagine 6 to 4 feet of snow. I know what it is here when we get like 10 inches.
Yeah.
If we get like 10 to 12 inches of snow, I couldn't imagine tripling that.
Well, man, hey, listen, when I used to live out there in Wisconsin, right off the edge of the Michigan River, Lake Michigan or whatever, and we used to get that lake effect snow. I've been in blizzards where it's been that high, and I'll tell you, you better come with a lunch pail and some overalls, because when you start shoveling that snow, you're going to get a bit of a workout. And I hope you got something better than just your driver's license to scrape the ice off your windshield like I had, because it doesn't always work out the way you think it's going to.
I'm not going to lie, Buffalo is most likely losing this game due to the fact they don't have running back play in the snow. And the Browns have.
We saw that when they played New England. I mean, how did that New England game work out?
They have Nick Chubb, Cleveland, which is playing like the best back in football. So it's going to be a hard game.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if they moved. I mean, what is it to move it down to a stadium in the lower lands where it's a little warmer, whatever? I mean,
a lot of people talk about moving it to Detroit. Moving to Detroit because they play on Thursday.
The dome. Why not put it in the dome?
Because they play on Thursday. So they play. I think they play Thanksgiving against the Lions.
Yeah.
So they play in Detroit.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Hey, is it about time that we get away from turf fields and start going to grass fields? I see a lot of players going down with those turf type injuries, and I know the players are talking about it.
Especially
I know Rodgers is talking about it.
Absolutely. I think they're going to change it because a lot of players this year has been banged up due to the fact of turf grass and how bad and effectively it hurts. Because how the grass is set up, they usually mess up like their Achilles, they high ankle sprains, they tear something in their leg. Like it's always the bad injuries in turf. It's never like the ones that you can just, all right, day to day. It's always you tear something or a high sprain and you're out like 4 or 5 weeks. So that's really affects it. But it's also going to ruin a lot of teams because I think a lot of teams play better on turf than they do in the grass. And it's going to affect a lot of teams. For example, the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're on turf.
Buffalo.
And so is the Dallas Cowboys. They're on turf as well.
Yeah, so it's going to affect a lot of teams. The Chargers on turf. That's why we're the most injured team in football.
I'm curious, has anybody seen the quote, or I should say the tweet, that LaShawn McCoy made about Bill Belichick in comparison to Rex Ryan and Marvin Lewis without Tom Brady? And at first I was like, damn, that's a hard thing to say. But then the more I looked at the stats and the more I looked at the numbers and the more that I looked at everything that Bill Belichick has produced outside of Tom Brady, the more it makes sense to me that everybody wants to label, and I'm agreeing with LaShawn McCoy. I don't think that he's the greatest coach of all time. I think he's damn lucky that he got a guy like Tom Brady. I think he's just lucky that he got a guy like Tom Brady, and they worked well together, and they produced 6 damn Super Bowls. But if you take away Tom Brady from Bill Belichick, well, Tom Brady won on and won another Super Bowl with Tampa. But Bill Belichick, I got to be honest with you, his lifetime coaching record without Tom Brady
is bad.
Believe it or not, it's 76 and it's 76 and I believe 83. He's got a below 500 mark without Tom Brady. Let that sink in for a minute. But everybody is so quick to say that he's the greatest coach of all time, when really that whole statement is full of shit. Because he's not the greatest coach of all time.
Who would you pick if he's not the greatest coach then? If it's not
I would probably lean towards maybe there's George Halas out there with Chicago.
I'll say that.
There's Tom Landry. There's
I think Tom Landry's in the top 5.
Chuck Noll. There's Chuck Noll out there with Pittsburgh. You can even look at Don Shula and what he accomplished out there in Miami. Look at the 72 Dolphins that got the only undefeated record ever. I mean, there's a lot of coaches out there that have resumes.
I think all coaches have great players, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying is, okay, watch this. Take Brian Flores. He took Miami from nothing. Hell, even look at Jim Caldwell and what he did with the Detroit Lions. There's a lot of coaches out there that can have better winning records. They may not have the Super Bowls, but they are winning freaking records. If you look at Bill Belichick, his regular season record is sub 500 without freaking Tom Brady. So let's say this. Let's say Mike Tomlin inherited a player like Tom Brady, and Bill Belichick got, I don't know, somebody like, like a Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah, he would have got a couple of Super Bowls, but he ain't getting the 6. And what if Tomlin gets the 6? Are we then screaming Mike Tomlin is the greatest coach to ever come across the face of the NFL?
You also have to look at it this way. You also have to give Belichick credit, because you got to remember Brady was a 6th-round pick, so nobody even expected Brady to be what he was.
He had to be in the development of Brady. He had to help Brady develop.
Belichick gave
Are you
Brady.
sure? Because he's a defensive coordinator. How do you know that he's the one that developed Brady? Because I'm pretty sure that there's offensive coordinators and quarterback coaches that had something to do with Brady's development just the same.
I think.
Let me ask you this. Since Josh McDaniels left, how much has Mac Jones improved? How much has Zappe improved? Honestly,
improved.
Exactly.
No,
so it
I'm
holds water that Belichick is this great architect that can build a quarterback Why is Mac Jones not better off now? Why are they losing? They got a sub 5-4 record.
I think Bill is a defense guy, and he just let the offensive guys work on the offense.
I'm not saying he built the quarterback. What I'm saying is he was the guy that had to have the balls to not bring Drew Bledsoe back in and stay with Brady.
I mean, there's a lot of people that did that. Like I said, I think he just got lucky. Honestly, I think Belichick.
You can say that. I mean,
sometimes it happens.
It
just happens.
Look at this. Why would Jimmy Johnson be without Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman?
I'm not saying. Okay. Well, okay. Let's take that. We can take that by comparison. What was his? How did he do with Miami once he left there?
You could do what will Bill Walsh be without Joe? It's a lot of things that we.
We're not talking. I'm saying look at the records without that one guy. Like Belichick, take away Brady. Are you seriously telling me that if he didn't have Brady, that we're talking Bill Belichick's the greatest coach of all time? I mean, seriously. Because I can give you the damn numbers that shows that he's not. I mean, if you want to go down the whole list of it, I'll give you all of the information. I'm just giving you the shortened version of it. I'll tell you right now, he got blew out. Am I right or wrong? He got blew out in the playoffs with Matt Brown.
He did by Buffalo.
And not even just like by a little bit. Like he got blew out. Like when I
Buffalo
say blew out, he couldn't find his way to his car in the parking lot because he was so dazed and confused by that 30-point ass whooping.
I'll say Bill needed Brady, but Brady would not won as much without Bill.
And that's my point. I agree with you that they needed each other, but that's not the argument that I'm making.
I know you're saying Bill is not the best quarterback ever.
The argument I'm making is without Brady, he is a sub 500 coach. He's sub 500.
I mean, hey, the numbers don't lie, so I got.
Well, no, let's take a look. 91, 6-10, 92, 7-9, 93, 7-9, 94, 11-5, 95, 5-11, 2000, 5-11, 2001, 0-2, and that's when Brady started the final 14 games of the season. And then in 08, he went 10-5. That's when Brady tore the ACL prior to the season opener. And in 16, 3-1. That was when the Flakegate suspension happened. 2020, 7-9. 2021, 10-7, and then 2022, 5-4. So, what? Two winning seasons. He had 2 winning seasons without Brady. 2, and neither one of them produced anything in the playoffs. What a time to be alive! Greatest coach ever. I salute you.
There's coaches. I ain't gonna lie. There's coaches I like their system more than Bill, but. I get the Brady thing, but it's hard. It's like in the NBA, what would Jackson be without Kobe and Jordan? But people still got Jackson as the best coach ever. It's just, I think.
Well, you said Jackson or Johnson?
Huh? Phil Jackson.
Said Phil Jackson. You talking about Phil Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know he went to L.A., and I think he got a few more championships. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but he had Kobe in L.A. and Shaq.
But he still had to meld all those personalities. I mean, that's a whole different issue.
Yeah, because Shaq was the best player in basketball.
With basketball is such a different animal than football is, though. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he didn't have great players. He had great players, but he had to be also a guy that could manage many different high-level personalities. Because you can't tell me that Shaq and Kobe didn't have high-level energy personalities. You can't tell me Rodman and Jordan didn't have high energy personalities. They had to meld together. I mean, and again, look at Eric Spoelstra. Look what Eric Spoelstra does. You know, the damn dream team that he had with Braun, all that crap has left. But yet Spoelstra is still an above 500 coach with everything that he's had to deal with from there, and there. You know what I mean? If you want to say greatest coach, go out there and look at the Raiders at the interim coach, that what he got and what all the Raiders organization went through to include the Ruggs situation, and he had to battle the Ruggs situation. Yet he still got his team in the damn playoffs. Now that's a great freaking coach.
That's who they should have kept.
Now they should have kept him. I still don't know why they didn't keep him. I will never understand that. When a guy gets you to the playoffs and then you just let him go, what the hell are you thinking? Oh, that's right. You only won 2 games this year. I guess you're not thinking.
And then of all people, you get Josh McDaniels. Of all people, you get Josh McDaniels.
Especially when you had a pretty damn good assortment of coaches to really plow through, and that
they
was
had
your
assistant
final
coaches that were head coaches before, and they did pretty well in their respective systems.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Raiders, it's Mark Davis, not Al Davis running it, so it's not just win. With Al, it was just win. And he made some bad mistakes when he was old. The Raiders
absolutely.
The Raiders just snake bit.
Oh, by the way, I did want to point out in the 4 seasons at Miami Dolphins after the Cowboys' reign, Johnson did compile a 36-28 record and went 2-3 in 5 postseason games, and of course, then he retired. So I'm just letting you know that Jimmy Johnson did have an above 500 record without all those great players. As a matter of fact, he even went to the postseason 2 out of 3 times.
But that record, though, is built without.
I'm just saying. Hey, look, stats don't lie. People's opinions, they want them to be what they want them to be. People want to fantasize and make somebody out more than what they really are. It's okay. Look, I'll buy into that fantasy. Hell, I'll buy the ticket to Disney World. Let's go do it.
You think Belichick's better than Parcells?
I'll take it to Magic Kingdom and we can sing Kumbaya, or I'll take you down to Vegas. We'll go watch the Cirque Olay on some acid and trip balls, and we can have a good time. Let's do it.
Jay, who you like more, Parcells or Belichick?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to go Parcells.
I'll do Parcells.
Great. He's the best team out there with the Giants. Matter of fact, that's when Bill Belichick was his defensive coordinator at the time.
New York. When they won.
Yeah, that's what I said. Giants. Bill Belichick was his defensive coordinator at the time when Parcells got the championship. And then Parcells went on, I believe, to Cleveland. I think he took a head coaching job out there with Cleveland, which is complete and total disgrace and failure. And then he went on to he went with the Jets, and then he was supposed to take over with the Jets, and then he didn't. And that's when he left Bill Parcells and screwed. As a matter of fact, he even screwed over Bill Parcells because he told him he was going to take the damn job when Bill left, and he didn't. And he bolted down to New England, and that's why a man that has no character, no morals, no values screws over his own guy, mentor, saying he's going to do something.
I thought he gave him the job many years. I thought Parcells.
Parcells gave it to him. Parcells gave it to him. He agreed to take it, and then he just did a complete 180 and said, "Deuces, I'm going down to New England."
No, I thought Parcells gave him the job in New England because Parcells was there before.
No. Parcells gave him the job with the Jets. That was a whole ugly battle, and matter of fact, that's what put a big what do you call it? A big block in their relationship is because Bill Belichick snubbed Bill Parcells, and he took that job in New England. He wasn't supposed to go to New England. That wasn't the deal.
Well, them Patriots, they're good at declining jobs once they offer them. Once they get offered and they said they got it. Am I right, Chris?
I was glad he declined that job. I didn't want McDaniels in Indy.
That was the craziest thing. That was the craziest thing. They said McDaniels is signing with the Colts.
Oh yeah, they already had the press conference lined up and everything, and then
they said
he got off the plane and said he was staying in New England.
Yeah, I think you guys really dodged a good bullet. You didn't want to have
McDaniels.
And the thing about it is some guys are just better college coaches than they are NFL coaches.
They're better coordinators
than they are head coach. I mean, you can't always be the top guy. Sometimes you got to know what you're good at, what your stick is, and stay with where your stick is. And Josh McDaniels' stick is being an offensive coordinator. And he needs to take his ass back to New England, and he needs to pray to God that Bill will take him back. And Bill really should want him back at this point.
He's a really good offensive coordinator. I think he should stay. It's like Norv Turner. Norv Turner was the head coach for the Chargers, but I think Norv Turner is a better OC than he is as a head coach. We was average every year, but when he went to Minnesota to be the OC, Minnesota was top 5 in offense. There's some dudes that just meant to be. For example, another person I know it's going to be some flack. I think Todd Bowles is a better coordinator than he is head coach. I think Leslie Frazier is a better one but I think they should get chances. That's why I think they're scared with the Bieniemy. I think now, look at the Josh McDaniel stuff. I think a lot of these coaches are scared of these old coaches' route tree. That's why they're going to the Shanahans, the McVays. Those are the coaches that's getting hired that is in their coaching tree. I think the Belichick's is over with. The Andy Reid coaching tree is over with. I think it's these new coaches. And soon it's going to be Sean McDermott.
Yeah, I think we're in a time now. I think we're in a
soon as
go ahead, Gonzo.
Soon it's going to be Jeff Saturday's coaching tree.
Hey, listen, if that happens, hey, look, we'll all be here looking like a bunch of jackasses because we were talking bad about it Saturday, and Gonzo going to be, and I'll be making Facebook posts like Pride did, apologizing. I'll be giving Gonzo all the flowers.
I still think the coolest
thing ever. Hey, seriously, hey, think about it, man. Look, I think we're at a time now where I think we're now in the Brian Flores era. We're in the Sean McVay era because Sean McVay has just had a dirty hand. I mean, there's just so many injuries. He can't help that. But I think we're in a McVay era. I think we're in a Flores era. I definitely think we're in a McDermott era and a Dable era. I think what McDaniels is doing down there in Miami, and I think what Salah is doing over there with New York Jets. I mean, those are the eras we're in now.
That's true. I agree. I'll give you that. But I think because if you look at it, honestly, you guys are going to look at me funny. I'm always going to say, they ask me the best coach in NFL. I don't use Bill. I think it's Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, my God. Now I'm going to slap you in the face.
I love Shanahan. You got to realize, I think Shanahan, what he does with that
man, what are you smoking over there? Look, whatever you're on, send me that in the mail, but don't put your name on.
There's a few dudes that I'll say, you know what, I can give you. I'll say McVay. McVay offensively is nice. Andy Reid, if you put Andy Reid, I'm not going to argue with you. It's Andy Reid we're talking about.
I like Andy Reid. I think Andy Reid, what he did with Philadelphia, the Eagles, people don't give him enough credit for the Eagles. They didn't get
the Eagles was a 4-time NFC champion.
But that's what I'm saying. They might not get the Super Bowl, but the Eagles were always a very competitive team. And then, of course, then he goes to the Chiefs, and of course, he makes the Chiefs a competitive team. The guy just knows football. Like, he's really good at the feel of the game. Now, I know we talk about analytics. I'm pretty sure Andy does use analytics, but I think Andy really relies a lot on his gut.
He's always been an offensive guy, though. Before the analytics, like with Donovan McNabb, they put up numbers with McNabb. But McNabb had no receivers. He put up numbers with Westbrook. Westbrook was a dual threat running back. He had numbers with Brent Selleck. Like, they put up numbers in Philly.
Yeah, I think if T.O. just could have got past being T.O. and just went out and did T.O. athletic things, then I think that could have worked. But T.O. was just so self-absorbed, it just didn't work out.
To be honest with you,
I thought that was the best chance, honestly.
And McNabb didn't do McNabb things in the NFC Championship, i.e. throw picks to the house.
Well, listen, McNabb has to take ownership of that too. I totally agree with you.
I'll love Donovan McNabb. I'm gonna tell you guys, I grew up watching. Aaron McNair was one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. I love Steve McNair. Michael Vick's one. Phil Rivers. Don McNabb is in there too, but Donovan McNabb, a lot of games, because my mom is a diehard Philly Eagles fan because she's from Philadelphia. McNabb threw the game away, and they had the game won.
Right.
I don't blame nobody else. T.O.
The thing though, what really kind of saddens is when I think back on quarterbacks, especially now that we're talking McNair and things like that, I really think about RG3, man. I think had RG3 not gone to Washington and gone to another program, I think he could have really been special because he really was a special kind of quarterback.
He was Lamar before Lamar, but with a better arm.
Man, hey, bro, no, he was better than Lamar. He had a better arm than him. Injuries got to RG3 early. I mean, like early in his career. And he just, when injuries get you and you're a running type of guy and then you lose those knee injuries like that, there's not much you can do. And that's what I'm worried about for Lamar Jackson. I don't like Lamar Jackson. I personally don't like him as a quarterback. I think he's a hybrid running back 1 and a QB2 merged together. But I think that Lamar and him, on this franchise tag, and most likely will probably be on a franchise tag again. And a fool has himself as the client. And I think right now he having himself as his own client is a fool because at any given time when you're a running quarterback like that, look at what Cunningham went through out there in Philadelphia back in the day. Randall Cunningham. I mean, the guy was a great quarterback, but he couldn't stay healthy because they kept hitting him in the knees. Same thing with RG3. You know, and there's a lot of other quarterbacks you can look at that same way.
I thought RG3 was
when I see Lamar, I just see that one time where he's going to run that ball and he's going to run it too many times and he's going to jack up the knees and Lamar's career will be done. And then we're not even talking about Lamar anymore, other than he's riding the New York Jets third string as a backup.
One thing I'll say about RG3 is RG3, when he came out, had a better arm than Lamar. He could throw. RG3 up in college, he could throw. Even he could throw in the league. I think also Mike Shanahan was his coach. I think they should have just took him out. They ran the ball too much with him, and then next thing you know, he out. But Chris, there
were times when they knew RG3 was not healthy.
Luck and Wilson was going to be if RG3 was healthy, RG3, Luck, and Wilson, all of them would have stayed healthy and been in the league still. It would have been a very interesting time because I'm not going to lie. I still think Luck was better than Wilson. I
think Luck was better than Wilson.
I totally agree with you. I feel like if RG could have gone to a program that had a quarterback coach or an offensive coordinator that could have developed his talents a little bit better, he would have been really good in the league. And look, don't look past what Washington did to him. There were times, I remember reading articles where there were times when RG was hurt, but they still forced him to go out there and play anyway. And that's when he basically hurt himself all the way. Like, they really ran him into the freaking ground, man.
Hey, that draft, the Colts and the Redskins, Commanders now screwed their quarterbacks.
Yeah, they really did, man. And it's a shame. I felt RG3 was special.
If Luck is still to leave, he'll be the best quarterback in football. I think Luck is better than Mahomes and Allen now. In his third year.
I think there was a point where Luck knew that he couldn't stay healthy, and I think maybe there might have been some concussion issues, and I think he just felt like it was better for his long-term health to leave the game.
Because I think Luck carried the Colts his whole career. When the Colts now we can say the Colts have a decent line. At one point, the Colts had the worst line in football, and it wasn't even close.
Right.
You have Pierre Garçon at wide receiver. He got T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton was I think 5-time Pro Bowler, 5 or 6-time Pro Bowler. I'll give him that. But I think Luck, if you would have gave him more help and a coach that was offensively schemed, I'm not gonna lie, I think Chuck Pagano sucked as a head coach. But that's just me. But I think he just had luck. I think they could have did a lot better.
I don't think it was as much as Pagano sucked as a head coach as it was as that Ryan Grigson at GM sucked as a GM.
So if you're the Colts,
I'm not going to argue with a Colts.
If you're the Colts and you're getting ready to go to the draft next year, you know you got a glaring need at quarterback. You know you got a glaring need at wide receiver 1. You know, what are you doing? What are you gonna do with that pick?
I'm going for that quarterback.
It all depends on where their pick is at.
Yeah, if they're at the top 10, I'm going for the quarterback. If they're in the top 15, I'll just say get the receiver.
Yeah, I think if the Colts wind up drafting around 13, 12, 13, 11, somewhere around there, I think you just take best available. If the right quarterback is there, like you said, I think you take him. I don't think he will be. If he is, let's put it this way. I can't say May because May's I keep wanting to put May more than a freshman. But anyway, if the right quarterback hits, but at the same time, I think realistically, probably unless the Colts just tank, now they're bringing Matt Ryan back. I think they're going to be somewhat competitive. I don't think they go all the way down to the last. I think they're probably going to draft around 11 to 13. I think they need to be looking at wide receiver 1s. I think that's probably your best deal is try to find that guy, that you can get the ball to, or it gives you the opportunity because you already got your stud at running back. You got that locked up. You got Matt Ryan, who's still a decent, quarterback if he has a good wide receiver 1 to throw to.
And an offensive line that can protect them. That was
man. But that's what they're looking at that second round for. That second round needs to be all offensive line driven.
That was our biggest problem.
Offensive tackle in there.
That's been our biggest problem this season. Is our
offensive line banged up?
What'd you say?
Is y'all line banged up though?
No, not really. It's just it hasn't performed.
Oh, it just regressed that bad?
Yeah.
That was the best line in football like 2 or 3 years ago.
And that's where we spent most of our money at, and it just hadn't performed.
Well, honestly,
now, last week was the best that we had looked offensive line wise, but it was also against the Raiders defensive line, so you have to hold that in account. But I do think that the offensive line will get better now for one, because I think Jeff Saturday will help that. I mean, you're talking about you're talking about a Hall of Fame lineman, Hall of Fame center. So I think he'll help that. Big thing is Quentin Nelson hasn't been the same this year as he has in the last.
Quentin Nelson was banged up the past few years, though.
Yeah,
but according when I'm looking at your depth chart in terms of injuries, I don't see any injuries. I see they got Ryan Kelly listed as questionable, but all the other guys don't have any designations.
Yeah, as I said, our offensive line hasn't really been banged up. It just hasn't performed.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I think that's more of a performance issue. And again, hopefully that's where Saturday can get their asses back in gear and be like, hey, this is what you need to be doing. So, yeah, I mean, that's the one good thing about your team is the fact that, truthfully, you really, when I look at your squad from top to bottom, they don't have
a lot of holes.
Y'all not old at all.
You got a few questionables in there, but you don't have a lot of injuries or out.
No, Jack Leonard's out for the year, I thought, or he's on Blitz.
Yeah, we did lose our one of our best defensive players for the rest of the season.
He's the best middle linebacker in football.
But we be honest with you, he's only played about a game and a half this year because he's been injured pretty much all season.
Yeah,
he's the best linebacker on Tuesday. I love Shaq Leonard. I think Shaq Leonard is better than Fred Warner.
I think he's the best linebacker in football when he's healthy.
Yeah, him, Roquan Smith, and Fred Warner. Those are the guys I think is the best linebacker.
That's our thing, man. We don't have a whole lot of holes. Our defense is a top 10 defense.
Y'all got a number one corner. Stephen Gilmore is back.
We got to fix our offensive line. We're going to have to get a quarterback.
I didn't know he can still play like that. I'm not going to lie. Gilmore can still play.
Oh, he's made some big plays this year for the Colts.
Also, but I ain't going to lie. If I was y'all, I'll get a receiver now, and I'll find a way to go ahead and get Quinn Ewers next year in the draft from Texas.
I'll tell you right now, hey, I wish my Cowboys would figure out a way to trade Zeke. I'd like to see them trade Zeke to the Rams for picks. Just give me some.
I don't think Zeke. Nobody wants.
Rams really don't have no picks to give.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. They really, you're right. They really don't. So maybe it's okay. So who do you look at? Oh, you know who you look at? Maybe Buffalo. Buffalo, the Singletary, the answer? I don't know. Miami? Do they really believe that Miami has a solidified running back one? I know they're running up by committee.
I don't. Buffalo will probably be a good fit for Zeke. I'll also say
the Saints. I even go with the Saints.
Pittsburgh will be a good fit. It seemed like
I don't know if they really believe in Najee Harris anymore. I'm thinking Najee Harris is looking more and more like a bust every day.
Yeah, Najee Harris was good last year and he regressed this year.
Baltimore with Dobbins being out. Yeah, Baltimore would be a good destination. Yeah, and they have a pretty decent offensive line.
I don't know what their pick situation is.
Hey,
but
we can.
That's why I was thinking the Saints. I trade his ass to the Saints because how long is Kamara going to keep going? I think he put Kamara.
Kamara might be suspended.
Elliott.
Yeah, Kamara's suspended.
That's my point. Yeah, but even when he comes back, you could do a backfield of Kamara and Zeke, and then run Zeke as your primary until he comes back. And as Saints, they're drafting low,
Saints drafting a quarterback
high. So
Saints drafting a quarterback this year.
What do you think about this? Since you brought up the Saints, what do you think about the Saints going to start Dalton over?
I think it's the dumbest damn thing in the world.
Why didn't you give up on Winston? Winston was 5-2 last year.
Yeah, when he was healthy, Winston was playing good there, and then this year he wasn't playing terrible. Got hurt.
It's the missing of Sean Payton because with Sean Payton with Winston, Sean Payton could talk to Winston. That's why I heard people say if Sean Payton comes back, he's gonna AFC in the West Coast. It's the Chargers. If he goes to the NFC, it's Dallas. It's either one of them two. So if Sean Payton with us, just know I'll be happy. But Sean Payton helped a lot with Jameis Winston because he's like, okay, take these dunks down. Don't just go deep. Don't think deep all the time. Just take these dumps. But Andy Dalton,
that's a Brady effect. Brady was a master of is a dink and dunk pass.
Yeah, and Jameis Winston was getting better at dink and dunk, and then he could throw it deep and throw it over the top. That's what people were still worried about. Andy Dalton, everybody knows Andy Dalton. He can't throw that far, and Andy Dalton's going to give you 3 catchable interceptions.
Hey, but you know what though? That's why Welker and Amendola and all those guys did so well. Edelman, that's why all those guys did so well because they were perfect for that dink and dunk pass situation. And Brady
had good players for it. the Saints don't have receivers that can just go off the top other than Chris Aloga. So
but you know what though? But then you look at when he had Randy Moss. Not that Randy Moss was bad, but Randy Moss didn't do quite as good there because Tom Brady wasn't a deep ball thrower. He was more of a slot, wide receiver 2 thrower where it was just 10-yard passes.
Moss got 23 touchdowns.
That wasn't Moss's forte.
Yeah, Moss got 23 touchdowns, but Wes Welker had Wes Welker had 100 receptions.
Bro, yeah, a lot more than that. I'm just saying because again, Moss is a speed guy.
Like 800 receptions career wise. Well, Welker was very productive,
right?
But that's what I think. The Saints, but honestly, I think Dennis Allen's possibly going to get fired this year because
he needs to. And I would like to see Brian Flores get that damn
his
job.
and him and the OC, they can't make plays. New Orleans, if they can offensively call a game, they will most likely win the game due to the fact that their defense is still one of the best in football.
That's actually where I have Brian Flores ultimately landing. I think eventually at some point Brian Flores is going to wind up down in New Orleans, huh? I definitely think he makes his way down to New Orleans.
But do you think Jim Harbaugh, anybody going to call Jim Harbaugh from Michigan and say, hey, we want y'all job up in the NFL?
Jim's not leaving Michigan. If he was going to leave Michigan, he would have taken that fucking Vikings job in a heartbeat because they got all the pieces that he would have needed to make that team. As you can see,
that's not true. New Orleans do too. Jim Harbaugh, even in the league, he was a run guy. Run the ball.
Yeah, I just think Jim has found his home. I think Jim is happy at Michigan. I think his whole family is happy at Michigan.
I think Harbaugh might, if he does come back to the NFL, he might end up being the next Indianapolis Colts coach.
He played in Indy, did he?
Yep, played in Indy, has connection there.
Well, hey, correct me if I'm wrong. He was a quarterback for Indy, a backup quarterback or something like that, wasn't he?
He was starting quarterback for a while.
Or starting quarterback. Yeah, I knew he was a QB.
Won like a big game or something that everybody talks about.
Oh yeah, he was called when he was in Indy. He was Captain Comeback. They'd always come back and win games. He made it to the, I want to say, AFC Championship game against the Chiefs and barely lost.
I'd say, but Jim.
Against Pittsburgh. It was against Pittsburgh, I think, maybe.
But I think Jim Harbaugh, I think he loved Michigan. He's alma mater. He's actually a top team now. They most likely, I think they're the favorites to beat Ohio State. I love Michigan. No, Josh Jacobs is not. Josh Jacobs is going to be that bell cow in Las Vegas. But I just think I think New Orleans, Indianapolis is a good one. I just think he's meant for NFL. The last time we seen him, there was he was an NFC Championship coach. Like they had an NFC Championship. Like people want to see Jim because he's one of them college coaches that left the NFL to go to college, but he was actually successful in the NFL. So they'll like to see. And I think Jim Harbaugh will be a very good coach for anybody.
Hey, I like Vince down there. I think he likes listening to me grind with you guys, man. I must be doing some good stuff out here at this show.
But what college coach? What college coach you think will be in the NFL?
Hey, Vince, that's my humor. Calm down. It's just my humor.
Vince says, Josh McFraud. Hey, Vince, I like you, bro. Josh McFraud. We've been. Hey, if you've been watching this show, everybody, even when they hired him, we all have said, we know the Raiders probably going to suck because we got Josh McDaniels as the coach.
So where do the Raiders go here?
Him and Adam Gase, those are coaches that you're like, they're going to suck.
Look, Carr and Adams have both come out and publicly endorsed McDaniels. Like they love McDaniels for whatever reason. They love Josh. But what I'm asking is this: at what point, if you're the Davis ownership group of the Raiders, at what point do you say, "Look, I know you guys love him, but hey, we got to move on because we can't continue to play."
No. I think it's 50% McDaniels and 50% Derek Carr.
I don't think it's Derek Carr. I don't.
I think it's on Derek Carr. Look what Carr did last year. Look how Carr was playing last year before McDaniels got there. Led the team to the playoffs.
He is inconsistent. He does not feed Devontae enough. It's one game he got 149.
No, but when you say Carr, are you saying that it's 50% that Carr's just not getting the ball on his own volition, or the play calling with Carr?
Oh, I think the play call is awful at a degree.
Because I think it's the play calling. I think the Raiders' issues aren't Carr. I think the issues are and I'm not going to say Carr doesn't have some ownership, right? But I think a lot of it, just like it is when Dallas, I think Dak's got his own.
That means you got to give Russell Wilson. That means you got to give Russell Wilson a break.
I'm not. Hey, look, when it comes to Russell Wilson, I'm not forming any opinions on him yet. I'm not, because I don't like Hackett. That's the problem. I've never liked Hackett as a head coach or whatever.
Even with like, I mean, the Raiders, I would put like 70% on McDaniels and like maybe 25-30% on Carr. And I think with the Broncos will be about the same. Put 70,
I'll meet you a little bit. I'm going to say 70-30. I think Carr's 30%. And I'm going to give it 70%.
I'll say 45. I think 45% of Boyd is Carr.
And I think with the Broncos, it's about the same. I would put 70-75% on Hackett and 25-30%.
Oh, no. That's 50%.
That's 50%. That's 50%.
I'm going 90%.
No, Wilson.
Wilson
is awful. He's awesome.
Wilson he hasn't thrown the ball well, even when he does throw it.
Wilson is so bad, his teammates know he's bad.
Like you see how his teammates act. Deontay, I can't compete with that. I actually agree with you. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll meet you in the middle. I'm gonna go 30%. I'm gonna go same thing I did with Carr. I'm gonna go 30% with Wilson and 70%.
I've seen Carr have some good games this year. I have not seen once Russell Wilson.
Actually, I'll tell you what. I'll go one better. I'll go 60% Hackett. I'll go 60 and 40%. Wilson, but I still think Hackett's the bigger artist.
60-40. I'll give you that.
Do you think the teammates?
I'll go 60-40. I think 60-40 split. I think we can make.
I think the teammates feel about Russell Wilson though.
Yeah,
he said. Vince said this man Nathaniel Hackett hacked the Broncos for a head coach job.
How you think Russ? I honestly think the teammates.
Well, look, but we all know. Look, they don't have Hackett there to be a damn head coach. They had Hackett there as a recruiting employee to get Aaron Rodgers. And
everybody know. Everybody know Aaron Rodgers is going to Denver. They just
signed. So here's the question. Hey, here's the question now. I'm going to give you the magic question. I'll make you between the four eyes. So next year, what do? They got Wilson under contract. Do they look at Hackett and say, hey, Hackett, we gave you a year. We thought you could bring Rodgers in. You aren't performing. You aren't doing what you're supposed to do. After this year, do you move on after 1 year? Because here's the deal. Here's the kicker. If you move on after 1 year from him, the people are going to come out of the woodwork saying, well, you didn't give him long enough. You only gave him 1 year. Blah, blah. Same thing with the Raiders. If they get rid of McDaniels early, blah, you didn't give him long enough. Blah, blah, blah.
He's been bad.
So what I'm saying. So do you have? What I'm saying is, do you have to hang on to a guy?
Fire a coach that was 3-13, a black coach, after his first year, and he was done. I don't give a damn if Nathaniel Hackett sucks.
Oh, are you referring over there to McCulley with the Houston Texans? Because if so, I agree with you. I thought McCulley got the
Arizona Cardinals done it with Wilkes. Arizona Cardinals done it with Wilkes. And they got rid of Steve Wilkes after 1 year.
Only one I say is justified. Only one I said was justified firing early was Hugh Jackson because the Browns was the worst team ever.
Let me ask you this. Do y'all look at Marvin Lewis? I look at Marvin Lewis' tenure with the Bengals as a failure all the way around from year one all the way until he was just done.
I think
they held on to him further than
Marvin Lewis should still be a D coordinator and have some type of head coaching job. If Josh McDaniels can get one, Marvin Lewis.
Trust me. Look, I'm not saying that they didn't deserve a head coaching job. What I'm saying is,
the Bengals when I look at Hugh Jackson in football.
Hey, when I look at Hugh Jackson and I look at Marvin Lewis, I see really badass coordinators, but not head coaches. When I look at Josh McDaniels, I see a badass offensive coordinator, but not a head coach. And I think, sometimes, if you take color out of it, I know it's hard to take color out of it because there are so many things with that.
I think Marvin Lewis was a failure too. I think it was the best division.
All I'm saying is like, and look, when they got rid of Dan McCulley, I don't know if you guys remember this. I'm from Houston, so I know this for a fact. When they got rid of Dan McCulley, the Texans were so under the gun about that. I mean, they were under the freaking gun. You guys know that. So what I'm thinking is that they
better last year.
They do the same thing to McDaniels. Are they then going to come out and say the same thing about them? I mean, and it sucks too. So my point is, this is my point. My point is, why is it that we have to hang on to a coach that sucks merely because we don't want, people to come out and chastise us because we didn't hang on to him long enough. Like, do I have to hang on to him? Do I have to keep sucking to justify why I want to let this guy go? Now, Dan Culley didn't suck. Dan Culley did not suck. Dan Culley with the Texans actually was pretty freaking phenomenal. And the fact that they let him go really pissed me the hell off.
I think the Texans played better last year than they do this year. They were more competitive. They were more engaged.
I don't know why you let Dan Culley go only to bring Lovie Smith.
Y'all don't even use Brandon Cooks anymore.
No, they don't. Matter of fact, that's why I think one of the reasons why Brandon Cooks wants out. But why would you let go of Dan Culley only to bring in Lovie Smith? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I think
nothing against Lovie Smith, but Dan Culley was doing a good job. What was he doing that you felt like you had to let him go?
How you feel about Lovie Smith though?
Hey, I think Lovey's all right. I think Lovey's antiquated. I think his days are behind him. Just like I think Mike McCarthy's days are behind him.
Football just changed too fast for him.
And it's the same thing for Mike McCarthy. And Mike McCarthy, he had a great year with Aaron Rodgers, but after that, he's been dog poop.
I'm at the point now. I'm at the point. I just think he had Aaron Rodgers. How you think about Bill? I just felt about McCartney. He had Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, that's an absolute correct statement.
You had Aaron Rodgers at his peak. And Aaron Rodgers.
The only difference is that when McCarthy did leave and Aaron was on his own with a new head coach, a more innovative head coach, he still can't get to the damn Super Bowl.
No, that's just Aaron.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, you know what I mean?
It sucks because Aaron, it was like, if you got to realize, y'all got to agree with me, if Peyton Manning didn't win that last Super Bowl in his career, he'll be in the same boat as Aaron Rodgers. Y'all talk about Peyton Manning like that. I just think Aaron Rodgers need to get that too, to get himself back in that. He just need another one. If he get one more, he's solidified. I can solidify him in my top 5.
I have no idea who Rubber Ducky 69
I just hate when people say Brett Favre was better than Aaron Rodgers. I absolutely disagree with that.
I don't know who Rubber Ducky is, but
like, for example, he had a sound issue. He said he got it fixed. He said, let's talk about winning teams like the Vikings. I'm not sure.
Is that Mike Hughes?
But Jay, I just hate when people say Brett Favre was better than Aaron Rodgers. Like I hate it. I don't think Brett Favre.
Look, man, each one of them dudes only has one damn Super Bowl. I think if anything, it's a lateral. If anything, it's a damn lateral. Not better, not worse. It's a lateral.
But Green Bay been spoiled for the past.
One damn Super Bowl, and each one has done nothing since.
Yeah, but Brett could have won some games. He threw himself.
The problem with Brett was Brett thought he could just sling the ball in to the tightest of damn windows, and because he thought he could do that, he just turned the ball over all the damn time. It's like, Brett, stop trying to gunsling it in. If you got 3 damn defenders and the meter is only 2 meters, you're not going to get the ball to your receiver. Throw it to somebody else,
remember
Brett.
That six interception playoff game?
I know. Brett was not far better than Rodgers. Like I said, if anything, it's a damn lateral. It's a lateral move from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. You can throw Brett Favre in right now.
I think Aaron Rodgers would have
at Aaron Rodgers' age, and you'd still have the same damn.
No, I honestly think Aaron Rodgers would have won more Super Bowl with Mike Holmgren than Brett would have won with Mike McCarthy.
I think Holmgren was a better coach than McCarthy. I think Holmgren's
exactly. I think. Listen to Holmgren.
Yeah, I mean that's more of a compliment to Holmgren than it is to a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that's why I said. But Brett had a better system. He had better receivers. He had better run.
Yeah,
run game
all I'm saying is the quarterback
in
his natural abilities. You know, I think it's a lateral. I just think it's a lateral move, man.
No, natural abilities. I think Aaron Rodgers make better throws than Brett. Aaron Rodgers can make them tight window throws, but they don't get picked off. Brett's, they get picked off.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, we seen him with 40 touchdown years and only 5 interceptions.
And the thing is, you can't just look at talent talent don't always mean winning, because Tom Brady isn't the most talented quarterback that's ever played the game. He's the most winning quarterback that's ever played the game. But
there's a lot of people say Tom Brady's the most accomplished, but if they had to pick quarterbacks, Tom Brady would not be their first quarterback to pick.
Yeah, because I mean, if you go by,
real quick, Rubber Ducky says, "Let's talk about how the Vikings can't win a Super Bowl." Well, okay, that's the past, but yet you talk about let's talk about the future. Let's talk about today. Well, let's talk about today, because last time I checked, the Vikings only lost one damn game, and they're looking pretty freaking good. So to say that they can't win a Super Bowl, that's true in the past, but this team right now is looking pretty damn good. So give the Vikings their props.
They're probably the most all-around best offensive team in football.
Well, let's be honest. There's only 2 one-loss teams right now.
Cook can go for 1,800 yards if they feed him the ball, if they want to. And Justin Jefferson can lead the league in receiving yards. So can Adam Thielen, because he has led the league in touchdown before. And you got
Jefferson's only like 100 yards behind.
Hill.
Yeah,
and you got Hawkinson too, and Hawkinson is a top 5 tight end right now.
Hawkinson was a big pickup. That was a real big pickup.
It definitely gave him that. It gave him that security blanket. If the play breaks down, he can still dump the ball off to Hawkinson for 4 to 5 yards and get something out of it. Let me ask you guys this: does anybody here think or want to see a Super Bowl that doesn't? And I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I want my Cowboys to be in there, but I know where my team's at. And I know where the Eagles and the Vikings are. And I think the Eagles-Vikings NFC showdown would be pretty freaking epic.
That's going to be a crazy one, because that's going to be
epic. Because you know the playoffs, they bring out the best of everybody. When you bring out the best of the Vikings and you bring out the best of the Eagles.
So Kirk Cousins. What do this place Kirk Cousins, though, if he wins the Super Bowl?
Well, me and Gonzo talked about that, and I said it's a Matt Stafford effect, right? If Kirk Cousins wins a Super Bowl, people aren't going to be discounting him anymore. They're going to be like, hey, Kirk Cousins, that guy won a Super Bowl. He looked pretty good.
If Kirk Cousins wins a Super Bowl, I take him over Matt Stafford.
I said I was saying before the season started that Kirk Cousins was a top 10 quarterback.
We always talk good. One thing me and Chris talk about, I said I give my props to Jimmy Garoppolo, and I give him to Kirk Cousins.
And that's the other team that
I don't give Jimmy G anything. Look, man.
That's the other team that win games. That's the other team that
the 49ers are down there. What is the 49ers record anyway? Can anybody tell me what the 49ers record is?
Hey, it don't matter what your record is.
No, it matters. Gonzo,
no matter what the record is at the end of the season.
Hey, they were like 9-8 last year.
Don't matter, Gonzo. We done. Oh, what are you going to tell me, Gonzo? Strength of schedule, because we all know what pride would say that and stuff.
They had a schedule.
Get pride on the horn last year. Get pride on the horn. Get pride in.
They were 9-8 last year
when they went to the NFC Championship game.
They were 9-8 last year, and they made it to the NFC Championship last year.
Look, man.
They got
if you're telling me, and I want to make sure I understand this correctly, because I want to make sure Gonzo and Deontay are on the same page. You're telling me that the 49ers have a legit shot at the NFC showdown.
I think they do.
No,
I think they do.
Oh, hold on.
Hold the phone. It's all about matchups in the NFC. It's matchups.
I'm writing this down because I'm writing my receipts.
You don't think they have a shot?
No, I don't think they have a shot in all of Hades to get to the NFC showdown. And you could put bank on it. Matter of fact, I'm going to write down the date, because when I give Gonzo and he gives me my flowers, I'm going to bring this up.
If they make the playoffs, that means they have a chance.
I remember one time I made it to the bedroom of a woman that was really beautiful, and then she turned on the light and she saw what I looked like, and I was kicked out the door. So sometimes you get to the bed, and sometimes you just get kicked out the door.
Who do you think?
Just because you make it in the room doesn't mean you're going to make it in the stack, okay? Shit happens. It happens.
They're going to win their division more than likely.
Gonzo is over there laughing his ass off right now. Get Tony in here. Let me talk to
how y'all feel about Seattle? Y'all think Seattle can make a run in the playoffs?
I think Seattle has a real good shot. And
Seattle has a shot.
Wait a minute. You think Seattle has a shot without San Francisco?
No, let's look at it. Could somebody please refresh my memory?
Geno Smith is playing like a top 5 quarterback.
No. Somebody tell me who's in first place real quick because I apparently forgot.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, Seattle's in first, and yet you don't believe. But the 49ers
got a shot.
Based on past experiences of last year, we're all of a sudden thinking.
I think Seattle got a shot. Absolutely. I think the NFC is wide open. I don't think there's no significant favorite.
I'm gonna tell you why Seattle. Because number one, they got Lockett, they got Metcalf, they got a pretty good defense. Pete Carroll knows what the hell he's doing. Geno is Geno, and he's doing great things.
But Walker and
but the most important thing is Kenny Walker the third. That boy can run, Forrest, run. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying that Seattle is a complete team. I'm not selling you that. But I am saying that Seattle is looking pretty damn good. And the fact that you're actually overlooking it, when I get my flowers, Gonzo, I want them in a crystal vase, baby. I don't give me that plastic Walmart.
I'm just saying.
I want a crystal
I think San Francisco
vase. And Deontay, Gonzo will buy the vase. You better buy the roses that go in the vase.
I just don't think you're just making it seem like Seattle's significantly better than San Francisco. Yeah. They're even. They're very much even.
You think they're even? Seriously. You're going to go that far.
I think San Francisco has a better roster than Seattle.
Their roster and the coach. If San Francisco lose, Pete Carroll got to coach a hell of a game.
Gonzo said 49ers to the NFC showdown.
No, I think it's going to
hold on.
I think it's going to be Minnesota and Philly.
Seahawks won't make it to the showdown.
I got Seahawks.
Wait a minute, Jay. You're saying Seahawks will make it to the showdown?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the Seahawks are better than the Niners. That's my argument.
They're not.
I'm saying just so we're on the record, I'm saying Eagles and Vikings are in the showdown. I'm saying that Seattle is better.
Does experience matter?
Matter of fact, I don't even think the 49ers make it to the playoffs.
Wow. Does experience matter?
No. Hold on.
I'm the 49ers is the most experienced team in there other than the Lions.
Make playoffs. It's in the record, Gonzo. I've written it down because when that day comes, that paper will be brought back up, and you will acknowledge. You will acknowledge me.
It's gonna be funny if the Niners.
That's my Roman Reigns, baby.
If the Niners make it to the Super Bowl,
you will acknowledge me.
And AFC, who you think will be in the dance? I'm at the point in my life now. Kansas City's just far out better than everybody in the AFC. I think it's going to be Kansas City and Baltimore. I think.
He said, Robert Ducky said, Mr. McLovin, crank up the song, Man in the Mirror. Love it. I love this guy, man. Hey, listen. Hey, Robert Ducky, I don't even know who you are, man, but I appreciate you, brother.
Well, I think it's going to be the AFC.
Did you see this?
Right now, Seahawks.
In the NFC, I got Philly and Minnesota. In the air. Yeah, I'm ugly.
Yeah.
Bro.
Hey, listen. Have you ever seen? Look, let me ask you this. Do you remember back in New Jack City? Back when Chris Rock was playing the guy that had all the foam and they were down. I used to be prom queen. That was Deontay.
Oh, you talking about with Pookie? Oh shit, that's a good one. I'll give you that. They was out there arguing over a turkey.
Yeah, man. Hey, it was Boogie, man. They were talking about the turkey, man. He's like, I used to be prom queen. And he's got all the stuff around his face.
But in the AFC,
that's how Deontay looks. That's why he don't show his face.
I got Kansas City and I got Baltimore. I think Kansas City hosting it. The Super Bowl is gonna have to go through Kansas City once again, and I hate saying it.
Wait a minute. Wait, say that one more. I want to make sure I understood what you just said.
Are you saying
it's going to be Baltimore and Kansas City in the AFC showdown?
Yes.
Oh, shit. I got to write that down. Hold on. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of flowers given.
I think the Super Bowl road to the AFC Championship is have to go through Kansas City again for the 5th straight year. Who you got?
All right. Hey, Deontay, you're in the books for having Baltimore and Kansas City in the AFC showdown. You're in the books.
And I hate saying this because I'm a Chargers fan.
All right, Rubber Ducky, stay safe.
Who you
Always
got?
wear your PPE when you go to the bathroom. That's Jay's life advice. Use some protective equipment when you go to the bathroom. But yeah, man, listen, guys.
Who you got in AFC showdown?
That's a good one, man, because the AFC is such a
it's the most even.
It's a mystery, man. It's a mystery because honestly, I look at the East Division, right, where you got Miami, Jets, 1 and 2 respectively, and then he said, check, don't guess. Okay, yep. And by the way, I have no idea what SKOL means. Maybe can anybody tell me what SKOL means?
School.
And now what? I think that has something to do with the Minnesota Vikings. Isn't that what the Vikings yell?
School?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to Google that one. But anyway, no, look, man. You got.
I don't think Miami, no AFC East team's making it.
Hey, look, watch this. You got Miami, Jets, Buffalo, New England, right? And at the bottom of it all, New England's 5-4, man. I mean, the whole damn division looks good. It looks good. So it's really hard to figure out, number one, who's going to come out of the East as a clear number one. I've been saying this since day one, and I don't know why people still don't freaking believe me. I've been saying two things. Since preseason, adamantly, consistently, two things. Number one is that the Vikings in preseason, I've been saying this, the Vikings are going to make it to the Super Bowl. I've been saying that. Number two, I've been saying, look out for Miami. This team ain't no joke. And if Tua can stay healthy, Miami can make it to the
Why y'all got so much faith in this guy?
Don't worry about it. Just know that I'm going to get my damn
flowers. No, I'm tired of this.
No. All you got to know is Jay said it. No.
If you lock down Tariq Hill, if you lock down, play a cover 2 over the top, beat the top, and then Jalen Waddle, you just press him a little bit and play aggressive, you can beat them because Tua cannot make throws.
That's true. I remember that because there's a movie out called
like
Vikings Valhalla on Netflix, and they always say, okay, I see what you say. They say skull every time they take some of the when they drink the liquor, they always say skull. That's like their cheers. That's like their when you're drinking and when you want to do a toast. So that's a Vikings toast is when you say skull. Hey, I'm glad you said that. It took me a while to remember that. But yeah, Deontay, I apologize for cutting you off, man, but I had to it was in my mind.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that you have faith in Tua and the Dolphins, but you don't have no faith in Jimmy G and the 49ers.
Fact, and Jimmy G been there.
I'll give you 100 million reasons why. I'll give you 100 million reasons why. I said, look.
And one.
Hold on, time out. Deontay, school's in session. Like Melanie tells her classmates, hands up, ears open, and mouth shut.
Wait a minute.
She said, now listen, God damn it, I'm gonna give you some education.
You have a sticker. Wait a minute. You have a sticker from the school on your shirt?
I did. I went and had lunch. It was Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving lunch there, and they all looked at me like I was out of prison reform. It's really interesting when you see a lot of people looking at you like you belong in the prison system. But anyway, let me just say this. By the way, very good noticeable there, Gonzo. I appreciate that. Number one, Jimmy G, as I said last year, the 49ers covered up a lot of his mistakes. A lot of it. Matter of fact, let's be honest. The 49ers got past the Cowboys because the Cowboys couldn't stop committing penalties. Hell, they had 16 damn penalties in the first half alone, and they lost it by one possession. Let that sink in for a minute. The Cowboys lost by one. Hold on. Just listen to me for a second. The Cowboys lost on one possession, but yet they committed 16 penalties in the first half. Just let that sink in. Okay, that's number one. Number two, like I said, Jimmy he doesn't protect the ball well. He's not a great passer. He really isn't. And he doesn't have to be because they had Elijah Mitchell and they had Debo and they did have Kittles and they covered up a lot. That 49ers defense covered up a lot of Garoppolo's issues. So Garoppolo was never really exposed for what Garoppolo.
He still got all them pieces.
Hold on. It's getting better. Just stay with it now. I know you're about to explode over there because you didn't make it to the bed sheets, but hold on a minute now. Hold on. So then you look at a guy like Tua. They said Tua doesn't have the deep arm. Time and time again, we have seen Tua throw the deep ball to Tyreek Hill to the point where Tyreek Hill is the number one wideout in the NFL, AFC, and NFC combined. But he can't throw the deep ball. But Tyreek Hill is your leading wide receiver in the NFL, period.
You know Tyreek Hill is also the same guy that can take a screen and take it.
I need your listening ears on. And then you got Justin Jefferson from the Minnesota Vikings right behind him by about 100 yards. By about 100 yards, he's right behind him. And this is quote unquote the superstar. And I believe that in Justin Jefferson, by the way. Now let me say this. So you got a guy like Tyreek Hill, you got a Jalen Waddle. We haven't even talked about Jalen Waddle. Nor have we talked about Gesicki, that really good tight end, nor the offensive line, nor the defensive front, nor the running back that features Chase Edmonds and Mostert and Chase and Gesicki. So you got a three-headed running back monster. Plus you have a McDaniels coach, which is doing it phenomenally well. And they're number one in the AFC East, which we know is a pretty damn tough division to be in. What's the second toughest division? Oh, yeah, it's the NFC East. That's the second toughest division. So to think that Miami can't be in the Super Bowl, to think that a healthy Tua leading this squad, which they are a complete team as long as Tua stays healthy, can't make it to the Super Bowl? Oh, by the way, Miami beat Buffalo. I didn't even mention that. To think that they think that Tua is not better than Garoppolo? Yeah. Tua is better than Garoppolo when healthy because he has number one, the low interception ratio. Number two, he has the equipment, or when I say equipment, I mean the players and the tools to get there. So yeah, Miami has a 10 times better shot, not only making the playoffs, but getting to the Super Bowl. Mark my words, write that on your calendars. 49ers will not make the playoffs. Write that on your calendars and then put Jimmy G didn't make the playoffs. Oh, and you better hope Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy. We all know what Christian McCaffrey brings to the table in terms of injuries. But go ahead. And then if you lose Christian McCaffrey, what are you left with? Mitchell, Bjork, and or Kirk, whatever that dude's name is. And then you got Debo. Okay. You still didn't get to the Super Bowl. I don't think you get to the playoffs this year. You're what, 4-6?
Hey, Jay, you want me to tell you a great stat? And Chris, you're going to like this. Since Shanahan became head coach, San Francisco record with Jimmy Garoppolo has been 35-16, including playoffs. Their record without Garoppolo is 9-29.
Oh, I get they're better with Garoppolo.
That's all I got to say.
Oh, no, they're better with Garoppolo because unless you believe in Trey Lance, I don't believe in Trey Lance. They're better with Garoppolo. I'm just saying they're not good enough to get to the playoffs this year. They were last year, but the league isn't the same as it was last year. The NFC East certainly wasn't as good as they were last year.
One of the highest win percentages.
The NFC as a whole was better last year than it is this year.
I don't know, man. Hey, look, NFC's got a lot of tough teams to crack. In order for the 49ers, like I told you earlier, in order for the 49ers to get to a wild card, they have to beat at the very least minimum the 5-5 Commanders, which we know are going to be 6-5 come Sunday against the Houston Texans. And you're at 4-6. And I don't know who the 49ers are playing because I haven't really looked at the schedule. But what happens if the 49ers go to 4-7? Are you still going to be screaming playoffs? I'm just curious. I don't know. I mean, I'm just a guy who has a girlfriend. That's all I am. And a few beers. And a dog who apparently can't go more than 5 feet without passing out.
The 49ers are 5-4.
Are they 5-4?
Yeah.
And they're probably right. Hey, I might have been off a game, but either way, they're still a half game back.
And they play Arizona this week.
They're right. They're like damn near. There might be a half game difference between the Commanders, which is at the bottom of the NFC East, and you guys. So you still got to go through the Commanders. You still got to go to the Giants.
They got.
You're probably gonna have to go to the Commanders and the Giants.
You're telling me you don't think the 49ers are a better team than the Commanders?
I'm telling you that strength of schedule and who they play could determine who gets in and who doesn't.
Let's not talk strength of schedule. Let's not talk strength of schedule.
But that does factor in. It does kind of factor in.
And that's why I don't think the Eagles will make this the NFC Championship game. They haven't played nobody. If you want to start talking about strength of schedule,
they played the Vikings.
Oh,
that's the only team they played.
He said they played nobody. No. See, nobody and Vikings. So the Vikings would be somebody.
They played one good team. And we're just going.
They played an 8-1 team, but they played an 8-1 team.
Second game of the season.
Somebody. I'm splitting hairs at this point. No, but seriously, okay, let's just take the Washington Commanders. Let's just look at their schedule for 1 minute, and let's just let it sink in. And then we're going to look at the 49ers, and then we can come up with who you think has the better. I'm using the Commanders because they're at the bottom of the NFC East, right? That really is probably their main. They got to get past the Commanders before they can get to the Dallas Cowboys or the Giants, right? So let's look for a second. They got the Texans, the Falcons, the Giants back-to-back. There's a bye week in between. The 49ers, ooh, that's interesting. They play the 49ers and then Cleveland, and then they go back to Dallas. Man, what a time to be alive. Jeez Louise, man, what a time. And then we go to the 49ers, and we look at their schedule, and you can see that they have, it looks like Arizona on the 21st, and then they got the Saints, Miami, Tampa, Seattle, Washington. They get a break with the Raiders, and I really think they get a break with the Cardinals too. So the last two, but I think the 49ers got a little bit tougher trail to go through than what the Commanders do. And let's not forget, they do meet up at some point. Oh, what a time to be alive. What a time. Gonzo, what I think we should do a Sunday show with me, you, and Dante. We call it the Flowers Show. The Flowers. We just call it the Flowers.
So what will happen if Jimmy G make the NFC Championship?
What would happen? I guess if that would happen, I tell you what, Deontay. I'm gonna go on Facebook. We'll say Deontay Kelly, Chris Gonzalez. I humbly give you your flowers.
Jay's gonna wear a T-shirt that says "I heart Jimmy G."
I can see that. Oh, look, there's Jimmy G calling me. Hold on. What's that, Jimmy? What's that, Jimmy? I'm sorry. What's that?
Hey, it could just be a regular white T-shirt that you write in marker. I heart Jimmy G.
Hey, damn.
I have no faith in Tua making it to the AFC Championship.
Jimmy said, I hope Gonzo got some roses, and I hope that Deontay can afford the crystal vase.
Jimmy G can make it. I give him a better chance than Tua.
49ers are getting healthy at the right time, too, man. They've had a lot of injuries early in the year.
I said, you got to realize.
I love that when somebody says that they're getting healthy at the right time. When they got Christian freaking McCaffrey on their team and they're sitting there again, because Gonzo, I say the same thing when I see Saquon play with the Giants.
Wait a minute. We act like Tua hasn't been hurt.
Well,
he came in the league hurt.
And I did say if Tua stays healthy, that the Miami Dolphins, I'm telling you, are going to Super Bowl. You'll believe me eventually. Just say it in your head a few times. It'll sound better toward the end.
It ain't going to happen. It don't matter how many times I say it in my head.
Man, hey, here's Tony correcting me at the last minute. He said San Francisco's 5. I know, Tony. They done told me like 3 minutes ago. You're a little late, sir.
I just who you have more faith in making it to the NFC Championship though, Dak or Jimmy G?
Shit, man.
Now you put him on the spot.
You know what? I'm gonna stick by this because the Cowboys aren't going to win the division, but I do think the Cowboys will win. You know what? Oh, can I reserve judgment until after we play the Vikings on Sunday? Can you check back with me on Monday's edition of Afternoon Show and give me that same damn question?
Oh, that's the second best team y'all gonna play.
Man, look, man, Cowboys, I don't know, man. This is a team that can give you the best and then also can give you the worst.
Look at the bright side. Y'all play Kirk Cousins a lot, so y'all know Kirk. Y'all know how Kirk is.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: Do you think that Kellen Moore's play calling has changed since Dak came back in, and do you think that is affecting the Cowboys?
I 100% agree.
I'm only going to say disagree for one reason, and for one reason only. And remember, I'm a Cowboys fan. I know Kellen Moore pretty damn well, and I know the Cowboys and the way they play their offense pretty damn well. And I will tell you, do I think it may have changed a little bit for Cooper Rush? Yeah, probably a little bit, because Cooper is a backup and he might not have the play knowledge as well as what Dak has. But Kellen Moore's problem, that's not the biggest problem for them. The biggest problem for Dallas is the fact that Kellen Moore, and I don't think it's Kellen Moore. I really think it's Mike McCarthy telling Kellen Moore to not put some damn motion in his offense. Because if you watch the Cowboys, and I would challenge you to watch a full Cowboys game, no matter who they're playing, just watch a whole Cowboys game. And count the number of times you see the Cowboys use motion in their offense. And if it's less than 5, you'll understand what I'm saying. If you're not using some sort of motion in your offense, how do you keep the defense guessing what you're going to do? And the problem I mean by it, and that's why I say Mike McCarthy is antiquated, is I think Mike McCarthy makes the Cowboys predictable in what they're going to do. I think if Mike McCarthy would take the Jeff Saturday approach and just let Kellen Moore do Kellen Moore and let him handle the offense and what the offense does, then you're going to see a different Cowboys team. But I don't think Mike McCarthy is going to allow that to happen.
I think Mike McCarthy wants to run the old offense he ran in Green Bay. Because it looked very similar.
Yeah, the problem is that the damn NFL has changed since those days. And that same shit don't work anymore.
No, I agree with you there, Jake. I've watched a couple Dallas games, but I also think that they've gotten away from the run a little bit since Dak has came back. And I think when Rush was in there, they were leaning on the run more, and I think that really helped their offense.
And again, I think that's just due to their lack of complete and total faith in Coop. And maybe Coop's, learning of the offense, things like that. So I think that, I think you're absolutely right. I believe that. And I'll be honest with you, Zeke, in my opinion, Zeke is crap. I'm not going to say that. I got to stop saying curse words. Zeke is crap.
Like I said,
he's crap.
Only thing Zeke does,
just give the damn ball to Pollard.
Only thing he does better than Pollard at this point is pass protection. Pass protection, the only thing Zeke does better than Pollard.
Pollard touches the ball like 14 times and he get like 112 yards.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, and if I'm going to stick with Zeke, and I hate to say it to a guy you just gave $100 million to, Pollard is my RB1, and Zeke is my change of pace third down back or goal line back.
He gets too much money to just be that.
Well, I understand that. That's why I said I hate to say that. But let's be honest. Is that not what it really should be?
That is true.
I mean, I get the guys being paid, but
you put Zeke at fullback and make him an effective fullback.
I mean, you can also put him in that situation too, right? You could run the I formation and put Zeke in front. If you want to go old school like that, go old school, whatever. I don't care what they do. Just make sure Pollard is a featured damn back.
I'll put Pollard at receiver sometimes when you got in the shotgun and have Zeke there. But they can do a lot. They can do a lot. You know
what? Why not put Zeke in more and more wide receiver sets? Why not line him up as a wideout sometimes and get that short, 5 or 6 yard, third down conversion?
That's why I like my Chargers. I'll give Joe Lombardi his props, even though he don't let Justin Herbert let loose. He uses Austin Eckler in a lot of ways where he can get 20 touchdowns.
Right. Well, Zeke can catch the damn ball.
Zeke is a good pass catcher. He can catch the ball. It just he lost a step. Like Zeke isn't as fast as he once was. Zeke was that big.
Yeah, I don't know if Dallas should run the ball 40 times a game, Tony. And I see where you're going with that. I understand that. But 40 times I think is too much. I would say 30 is probably a more realistic number to run the ball. I would say 30 because I think the Cowboys still have to stay to some sort of a balanced attack. And I think if you run the ball 40 times, then you're risking, guys like Gallup, guys like CD or Schultz not getting their touches. And I think that affects the offensive rhythm. But I do think 30% or 30 reps, would be a good number. So I'll meet you halfway. I think 30 would be, probably the more realistic number to run the ball. I actually think they run the ball like 22 times. So,
I think with the Colts, Jonathan Taylor should be getting 25 to 30 touches every game for the Colts.
Right. Hey, he did?
He did last game. He did last game. He didn't when Frank Reich was there. He was getting 10 to 15 some games. And if you want to give Jonathan Taylor 10 touches a game, you should have got fired that game.
No,
Hold on, let me ask you this. I just saw this come up on the TV screen, and before I forget out of my head, I just want to ask you this. Caesar and Gonzo, I know you're a sporting guy. I know you're in your pops. Y'all got a sporting line bet show. So I really want to kind of touch this. Caesar's betting books have given the Warriors the best opportunity to win the Western Conference. They went Warriors, Clippers, and then I forgot who the third team was. I think Dallas was like number 4.
Yeah, Suns was 3rd, Mavericks are 4, Grizzlies 5,
Third,
6.
Suns. Okay. Do you think that that's actually accurate? I mean, do you see the Suns, being the betting favorites to win the Western Conference, given that they're actually at the number 11 seed as we speak?
It's because of nostalgia.
You mean? Are you asking if the Warriors should still be the favorite?
Warriors.
Well, yeah, I'm saying right now the Warriors are at number 11 in the rankings, but yet Caesars has them as the betting favorites to win the Western Conference. Are you in alignment with that?
Well, as of right now, no, because the Warriors have been playing. But the reason it is that way, they're correcting themselves because at the beginning of the season they had the Warriors as even bigger favorites, so they dropped them some. Now they're slight favorites at plus 350. They're kind of correcting themselves now because of the way the Warriors are playing. So if the Warriors keep playing like this another couple of weeks, they'll be 2nd or 3rd. They won't be number 1 no more. They just couldn't drop them from as big of favorites all the way to 3rd or 4th that quick.
That would be crazy. But my question
is, I'm glad you mentioned that. They're sitting at number 11.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that was something. One of the questions I wanted to ask was, what's wrong with the Warriors? I mean, Steph Curry dropped a 50 piece last night, and they lost.
I just think everybody got their money, and they stopped caring about winning. I don't think they really. Yeah. And I think Clay lost a step. I think Clay's not the same no more.
Well, I don't know. I just saw an article on ESPN that had Clay laid out with his head behind he's on some yacht and he's looking all beautiful. They said Klay Thompson is better now than he was ever. And I'm like, really?
Okay. Yes, I saw about this yacht. They did a big special on him yesterday.
You saw the one I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson.
I'm like, bro, he's not bad. I don't think he's better. I think he's even or less. I think he's less than what he was when he was winning with the Dubs back when he was before the injury.
When they were the Splash Bros. He was at his prime. He was at his peak. He was one of the best shooters ever.
I think their biggest problem is their defense, man. They're not playing defense.
That is true.
At all right now. And I think they're leaning on Curry too much. Don't get me wrong. I think Curry's awesome. I love watching Curry play, but if you watch that, I watched a little bit of that game last night, and it was the Steph Curry show. I mean,
they need to run more. They need to really just, I don't know, but James Wiseman getting sent to the G League really put it a step back too, though.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight on Unscripted, but and I'm kind of curious now that he came off all these injuries. It looked like he was doing pretty okay in the summer league. Granted, I know it's a summer league. But then now you're, not even halfway through the season, and you already got Wiseman going down to the G League. At what point are we looking at the number 2 pick in the draft as a guy that's heading for the bust category?
Oh man,
I think
it's a little
State. I think Golden State should have. I think it's too early to say he's the bust yet. I'll say give him a couple more years because, for example, Joel Embiid, it took him 3 years to become who he was.
No, I'm not saying that. How soon do we label him a bust? I'm saying how soon do we start labeling him as heading in the direction of the bust category?
I think we can say it now.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Wiseman is a bust, but what I'm getting at is I think he is in a trajectory to head towards the bust. Yeah. Unless he can right the ship, I think that's where he's headed.
See how this season goes. See what the rest of the season goes. If he gets back on out of the G League and if he starts playing better, if not, I would say yeah, that it'd be time to start saying
exactly.
That.
And I agree with you. I think it's going again. I'm not
really
going to help the bust category, but I think when Wiseman comes back from the G League stint, when he comes back and he rejoins, the Golden State Warriors. You give him 2-3 months to reacclimate back to NBA life. And then after that, if he's still not producing after, 3-4 months back in the NBA life, then we got to start looking considerably that, hey, this guy's probably going to be a bust.
No, I agree because I would give him, like you said, this rest of this season just because he really hasn't. This is really his first full season because of the injuries. You know what I mean? So he really hasn't had a full season of playing in the NBA. But I want to see how he plays when he gets back. But yeah, if this season he don't improve this season, I would say it'd be all right to say he's starting to go in that trajectory.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how he plays. I really want Wiseman to be a success in the NBA. I think he still has a lot of gifts, but man, sometimes having the gifts doesn't always translate to the NBA world. And I hope it, for his sake, I hope it does.
The Warriors can't win on the road, man. They still haven't got a road win yet.
Freaking Warriors, man. Steve Kerr's got to be pulling his damn hair out. And Steph Curry, I'm sorry, you cannot keep giving 49-50 every night like this and playing the minutes that you're playing. Not that you're an old man, but, that stuff does wear you out. Mentally, emotionally, physically.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can.
Point, it takes a toll.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can to try to carry them to wins, and nobody else is jumping on with him.
This is the point in time. I'm sorry.
The only game I got in the NBA last night, Jay. I picked 1, 2, 3. I had 5 picks, and the Warriors game was the only game I got wrong.
Yeah, I can believe it. That's crazy, right? When you pick the Warriors and they don't give you the win. And I think that who they played was Phoenix. They played Phoenix, right? They lost to Phoenix. Yep. So he put 50 on Phoenix.
Yeah.
Man, you put 50 on Phoenix and come on, man. I'm sorry. Okay, here's where I'm going to get on my damn soapbox about 2 seconds. I'm not going to go long, but I'm going to give you a 2-second soapbox on Draymond freaking Green. And I'm saying freaking to keep it clean. Draymond, he want the Quan. You want the Quan so bad that you hit Draymond Poole, Jordan Poole. Now I'm combining names. You hit Jordan Poole square in the face because you weren't getting the Quan. And now you have an opportunity to get the Quan, to step up, to produce, to be something more than a mouthpiece for the Golden State Warriors. Where you at, guy? You want your money? Well, put some damn effort. Give us the rebounds, give us some assists, put some defense up, and make a few baskets. Can you do that? If you do that, I'll give you the Quan. If you can't do it, shut the fuck up. Pardon my French. Get the hell out.
Do you think that the him punching Jordan Poole, do you think that has some carryover effects to the way the season going
things
now?
Always reside though. Gonzo, don't things always reside a little bit somewhere deep down? Yeah, okay, he made a halfway apology. You gonna tell me the man just punched you in the face and you don't have a little bit of something? Or in your team organization that toxicity doesn't spread over a little bit.
He doesn't knock Jordan Poole the fuck out and didn't even buy him a beer afterwards.
Bruh, you can't buy the man a beer. You can't buy the man a beer. I'm just saying, buy the man a beer. I mean, but the bigger point of it is not so much the punch, right? It's just the toxicity that comes from the punch that spreads down throughout the organization, right?
And it can divide the team because some of the team can be on Draymond's side, some can be on Poole's side. You know what I mean? It can really drive a stake in the middle.
And then where is Andrew Wiggins in all of this? What's he doing? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they give Andrew Wiggins a pretty sizable contract?
Yeah, I forget how many points he had last night.
Hey, you guys, I like to let y'all know the Eagles, to help they run defense, the Eagles just signed Ndamukong Suh.
Okay, great. I think Ndamukong Suh just signed a TV commercial for Metamucil. Good for him.
You don't think that helps the Eagles a little bit?
If it was a Ndamukong Suh from the Detroit days, hell, maybe even the early Super Bowl championship Tampa Bay days, I'd say, yeah, you're right. He's a little older in the tooth now.
Jay, listen to this. Last night for the Warriors against the Suns, Andrew Wiggins had 14 points. Draymond Green had 9. Kevon Looney had 10. Klay Thompson had 19. Jordan Poole had 2 points. And Steph Curry had 50.
Watch this. Hey, how many points did Jordan Poole have again?
2.
And you gave him how much?
He played 27 minutes.
And you gave him how much? Hey, let me ask you a question though. You rattled off some points. I'm more curious when it comes to Draymond. And hey, congratulations, number one. Hey, Draymond, you gave him 9 points. Okay.
This man got $100 million to get 2 points.
Exactly. No, he got 140 million, I believe it was, to get 2 points. But hold on a minute. I want to know 2 questions. Number one, how many minutes? No, I don't want to know that. What I want to know is how many rebounds did Draymond get, and what was his shots made to total shots altogether?
Let's see, Draymond had 2 rebounds.
And what was his shots to, or how many shots did he miss? Just give me the field goal percentage on Draymond, I guess is what I'm asking for.
Hold on, I'll have to find that. It's not on this one.
It didn't even have to say that. Just give me what he made and out of total shots.
Yeah, I don't on this one.
Oh, it doesn't tell you that?
It doesn't say like
13 out of 16 or whatever?
No, on this one, all it says is minutes, rebounds, assists, and points.
Well, still 2. Draymond, 2.
Yeah, 2 rebounds and 8 assists.
Okay, you gave me 8 assists. I'm not gonna beat you up too hard because you did get some assists. Hey, you did some playmaking.
Hey, guess who the leading rebounder for the Warriors was last night?
That's a good one. Hold on. I'm gonna say Thompson. I mean, not Thompson. I'm gonna say Curry.
Curry with 9.
Yeah.
Curry had 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 50 points.
Wow. And that's the thing, right? When your guy is giving you everything he has, and then you're giving him 2 damn rebounds, and that's like kind of like you're a power forward, and that's kind of what you're. What did Looney do? Who played the center? Was it Looney?
Yeah, Looney had 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 10 points in 20 minutes.
Okay. What was their bench scoring like? Who performed off the bench? Because I'm trying to pull this up on my thing, and I haven't quite got there yet on mine. But who was how much bench scoring did they get? Like, if you had to say total points, how many bench points did they get?
It's about 25, maybe. 7, 6. That's 13, 14, 15. No, 17. 17 points off the bench.
So yeah, 17 points off the bench. I don't know, man. I always thought your bench should give you at least 25, 30 points off the bench.
I've always been like that too. My bench should give me like 25 points at the minimum.
Yeah, and if you're getting like 17, and then again, you have to look how many did they miss and did they make when they came off the bench? Like, what was a total bench, hit to miss ratio? I don't know if it'll give you that, but man, what a time, man. Damn. Golden State is definitely in the rut.
Yeah.
Well, did you find out what that one was by chance?
No, that was just the team.
So they lost. They lost by 11. What was it 130, 119? So they lost by. I mean, they didn't get beat. They got pretty good beat. I mean, I always say if you beat it by more than 10, that's a good beating. Yeah, exactly. So you have Jeff Green going for 1 of 7. Lamb went 3 of 7. DiVincenzo, or how do you say his name is, 2 for 7. Jordan Poole 0 for 5. I mean, come on, man. That's some bullshit. So you're going to tell me you went 21, 26, 20, 27 shots, and you can only make 6 out of 26? Yeah, there's your problem right there. There's your damn problem right there. It wasn't so much Green, Wiggins, Looney, Curry, and Thompson that was the problem. The problem was Green, Lamb, DiVincenzo, Poole, and Moody. That's your damn problem.
That's your problem. Plus, Steph Curry shouldn't be your leading rebounder.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying when you're 6 of 26.
The bench was the problem for sure.
Oh man. If the bench would have came out and gave you 15 out of 26, you're not losing that game. You're winning.
No, I agree.
I mean, look, 6 of 17 Thompson, 5 of 6 Looney, 5 of 11 Williams, 3 of 3 Green. Those dudes are playing. They're giving you what they got. They do what they do. But when your bench comes out and goes 6 of 26 or whatever, that's why you lost the damn game. And if I'm Curry or if I'm Steve Kerr, I'm going to look and I'm going to have all these guys off the bench. I'm going to have Green, Lamb, DiVincenzo, Poole, and Moody come into my office, and we're going to have a powwow. And I'm going to look Jordan Poole right in his face and say, "Really? I'll give you $140 million, and you go 0 for 5. Really? This is where we at? Maybe I should bring Green in here one more time to hit you in the face and maybe knock you back in the right mindset." God, what a time to be alive.
But this Thursday, who y'all got winning tonight?
Yeah, I really hope. Who do I think wins? I think Green Bay gets it. Who do I want to win? Tennessee. And I need Tennessee to win because I need the defense to get me points. I need Henry to get me points. And I need Tannehill to get me points on fantasy. Plus, I hate Green Bay, and I just like seeing Green Bay lose. I hate Aaron Rodgers with a passion.
Why?
I don't like Aaron. I think he's smug. I think he thinks that he's better than everybody else. I think he thinks he's the best quarterback ever to grace the planet Earth.
I think that's just
the list just runs long and deep, man.
I just think it's a greenback quarterback thing to just be an a-hole.
Well, yeah, because Favre wasn't really all that. He wasn't really all that better. Matter of fact, you can see where Favre went with the welfare scam. So that just kind of tells you where Favre is, right? I'm just saying it just enlightens you on Favre. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what they put out there in the water of Wisconsin, but they definitely put some stuff in that water. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't think that's Lake Michigan you're drinking. I'm just saying.
I don't know what's been up with Rodgers this year though. He's been playing significantly inconsistent. I just think they're just gonna run the ball with Derrick Henry. They're about to ground and pound.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an ugly game because Green Bay, they're going to go in the game trying to run the ball with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. So I think that's what we're going to be seeing, a lot of just straight smash mouth football.
Oh, and again, I mean,
if you
look at the standings, I wonder how far Golden State is from the Lakers. They can't be that far ahead of the Lakers at this point right now at 11, right? And I think the Lakers got to be sitting around, I don't know, 8 or 9, or no, not 9, like 13 or 14. If the Golden State Warriors are at 11, they're only maybe like two spots behind them.
Yeah, that is true.
How is it that you go from being world champions to only being 2 spots ahead of the Lakers for crying?
Look at the Rams.
No, the Rams got an excuse. If you look at the Rams, hell, they didn't lost Cooper Kupp. They done had Stafford out with a damn concussion. They can't figure out the damn running game if it's Akers or Henderson. They're trying to trade Akers. They can't trade. They put him back in the rotation. I mean, the Rams got their own damn issues. Trust me, the Rams got lots and lots of injury issues over there. So I don't blame the Rams so much for what's going on.
Warriors are 12 and the Lakers are 14.
Hey, Deontay, who do you have winning tonight?
Yeah, 2 spots. They're 2 spots ahead.
But who I have? My gut tells me Green Bay, but my mind is telling me we all know Derrick Henry's about to go for 200 yards.
He better.
I'm not gonna lie. This has been a hard one for me. I've been going back and forth on this last couple of days.
If I told you Henry now is back in the race and Henry's 10 yards away from leading the league in rushing, that boy is a monster. We're gonna have to end up putting him. He's gonna soon gonna have to call him future Hall of Fame running back Derrick Henry, because right now I don't see there's nobody better than him.
I think Jonathan Taylor's right up there, but he hasn't had the opportunity this year to really do what he done last year. But I agree, Henry's right up there as the best. You can't deny that.
At his peak, like I'm not talking like longevity, because there's dudes like Emmitt Smith, they got consistency, but we're talking about running backs at their peak. Like, we gotta talk like how Terrell Davis made it, because at his peak he was this. Derrick Henry is just as good. 2,000 yards. He was about to go back for back. He had like 1,800 the year before. Every year he's been healthy. Almost like 3 out of 4 years he led the league in rushing consistently.
Yeah. The key to me tonight is going to be who stops the run. Which defense can stop the run the best? Really,
I'm more confident in Vrabel's defense.
But man, I don't know. I just have a feeling that the Packers are going to carry over some of that momentum from Sunday, and that they're going to put together a win tonight.
Hey, Christian Watson can play like that again, or half is that. I got them with playing a good game.
I'm just hoping for a good Thursday night football game.
Hey, if y'all don't mind, man, real quick, man, so. And I don't mean to switch the subject, man, but I want to kind of go back to yesterday and this whole UVA thing. We're kind of talking football, we're talking basketball. I know we're talking basketball, but so more information, as I don't know if you guys know, but a lot of information has come to light now. Not the motive so much, but a lot more details have come to light. At first, we thought maybe it's a random shooting, this, that, or the other. It wasn't a random shooting. He deliberately aimed the gun at certain individuals and shot them. Chandler, the one wide receiver that was shot and killed, was sleeping when he was killed. He shot him while he was sleeping. And then we go on to know that the running back, Hollins, went back he was the first off the bus. He told the other 2 students to run. He came back on the bus to try to get more people off the bus. And as soon as he got the first step onto the bus, Jones was right there dead in his face with the gun pointed at him. And then so he turns around to run the other direction, and Jones shoots him in the back. Just saying, man, there's something going on with that school. There's something going on with Jones. I think Jones probably had a beef with people, and he just took his beef out on selected individuals, because he really could have shot that whole damn school bus up.
Oh, it could have been a lot worse.
He selectively shot certain people. And I don't know why Jones, but yeah, Jones was the last one obviously he shot, but
they should get him for premeditated.
Oh, he's right now. I know he's got 3, 6, 7. He's got between 8 to 10 charges on him. I'm just curious as to what it's going to take, whether he gets life or if he gets. And I don't know if Virginia has a death penalty. I'd have to probably look into that, see if they even have the death penalty. But I think he deserves the death penalty because you don't spend 12 plus hours with a group of people with a gun on your side and then randomly select out certain targets when you get back to the home base. You had 12 damn hours to think about what you were going to do and how you were going to do it. If that ain't capital one murder, and then you point the gun at and you shoot a guy right there in his seat at point blank range, how is that not capital freaking murder? Yeah. Oh, and by the way, interesting enough, he actually, with the misdemeanor charge that he had on concealing the handgun, he actually was not allowed by the law to have a gun on him, period. Yeah. So when he says that, hey, I got a gun, and you know that and the campus people know he had a gun, how do you let a man like that on your damn bus to begin with? Again, I said, we got to stop, ignoring the signs, and we got to start speaking up. If you see it, hear it, say something about it, man. Damn.
What happened to the days where if you had a problem with somebody, you guys would throw a couple punches, then you'd go sit.
Oh, them days are gone.
Then you'd go sit, drink a couple beers. Then you'd go sit, drink a couple beers together, and everything was cool.
Yeah. People would rather use their guns now than fight. That's why that's why we trying to express to people my age and younger. I'm like, if you guys got a problem with each other, just say how you feel. If you guys fight, y'all fight.
Let me ask you a question, Deontay. Deontay, you're a relatively young guy. Obviously, between me and Gonzo, you're the youngest one here. I'm pretty sure you'd probably be both of our son. I mean, I'd love to have you. You seem like a good young man. Let me ask you this. From a young person's perspective, man, do you think, all these video games like Call of Duty and what's the other one? Grand Theft Auto, all these video games that are out there on Xbox and so forth that are promoting this level of violence, this level of shooting, this level of I don't give a damn. Do you think that is changing how we're doing things and why Gonzo says, why are we not using our fists and why are we using guns? Do you think that these video games are promoting the use of guns rather than, hey, let's deal with our issues with this or even this?
Yes, I believe it can control the mind at a younger age. I believe like younger kids, like when you're like 10 or 11, you shouldn't be playing that. I'm contradicting myself because when I was 10 or 11, I was playing Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. Hell, I still play Grand Theft Auto now. I love Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, trust me, hey, everybody does. That's the. I mean, it's okay.
But I think I think people are mentally weak if you say those type of things influence you. Also, I think it's just an easy access to get guns. And it always will be. Even if people try to say change gun laws and gun license, it still will be an easy access to get guns. Somebody will always be able to get arms. And I think there's some people and a lot of things in different communities and environments, it involved gunplay and a lot of gun and using guns. So,
but Deontay, I personally believe, because I've seen, younger people in my family and how they raise their children and things like that, and they pass down with their parents. I believe as parents, I think that's where it starts. I think a lot of these kids that are doing what they're doing is from a lack of parenting, for a lack of being engaged with your children, a lack of knowing what they're into, what's going on. More so, a lack of not monitoring what they're watching or what they're playing. At some point, the parents, we as parentals, we have to take responsibility for what we allow our children to see, what we allow our children to do. I'm not saying you got to make them a prisoner, but you have got to do a lot of education and you've got to be involved with your kids to a point where you know what they're doing not so much day in and day out. I don't want you to tell you to be a helicopter parent, but if you're not monitoring what your kids are into and what they're doing left, right, up, and down, well, then you're part of the damn problem. And that's part of the reason why our world is the way it is, because we have a lack of parental engagement with their children.
I agree, and I think one big reason why there's a lack of parental engagement is because nowadays there's so many kids having kids.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a lot of kids my age. Yeah. There's a lot of people my age. I have people I know that's 23, 24. They have 3 or 4 kids already.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You're seeing people at 16, 17 years old having kids. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. And I think that's a big problem. Is now you have kids raising kids,
and also there's kids now that's like 8 or 9, they're like 9 or 10, and they have easy access to the internet to whatever they want, and parents don't monitor the internet, don't monitor what they do. It's just they just get it for them if they're acting good, and they don't monitor. Because I think the internet is more dangerous than video games.
Because look, my son.
All of it is right. I mean, all of it plays a part. Right, video games play a part. Internet plays a part because you're not playing video games unless you're playing video games on the internet. Why are you playing video games on the internet? Because you want to go against your buddies. I mean, it all goes hand in hand together, right?
Because I mean, like when I was 20 when my son was born, which is not old by any means, but I also had a good support system as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you get some of these kids that are 16, 17 that have kids. Well, then they don't even have a good support system to help them raise that kid. And then I think that's the biggest problem that we have right now in the world when it comes to a lot of the violence and stuff is you have kids raising kids and it just don't turn out.
But again, you got a lot of times though, you have kids raising kids because their parents aren't taking the time out to discuss, hey, look, Johnny, if you go on and have sex with Susie and you don't put a Jimmy on, you're going to have a kid. And I'm not supporting that kid, so you better figure it out. Or a lot of times, we're not talking to our daughters and saying, hey, look, I know you're probably going to be sexually active. I understand. This is the day and age we live in. High schoolers are doing what high schoolers do. It ain't like when in high school when I was in high school. So let me take you down to this is what I did with my daughter. I took her down, or I did, my wife did, because that's her ball game. But she took her down to the hospital. And they met with the doctor, and the doctor gave her the full rundown of diseases. I mean, gave her the whole gamut of what life looks like when you're having unprotected sex. And then, when it all said no, we put her on birth control, and the doctor gave her a handful of condoms and said, use them and go with God. And so far, life is doing pretty good. I have no grandchildren. I hope it stays that way. At least until she gets old enough to have children. But I do think, again, I don't want to get too crazy off into that subject matter, but it just comes down to parenting, man. Getting involved with your kids, playing an active role, educating them, tell them about life and what life looks like. And because I think a lot of times kids don't know what life looks like.
Well, and another thing I think that sucks is there's not as many kids into sports as there used to be.
Right.
And I think that, and I think that's a big deal as well because, hey, sports help keep me on the right track. You know what I mean? I've done good in school because I wanted to be able to wrestle or play baseball or do, you know what I mean? I think kids
it just gives you something it gives you something
to do. I was also active growing up. I was always outside playing basketball. Yeah. I was always at some type of we always was outside playing football or something. We'll find
you don't see that
every day, sun up to sundown until you have to go home. And then at night I'll play my video game.
That's how we were. We were outside till we couldn't be outside no more.
And then we will probably play our video game when we in the house if sports isn't on. So now kids, they'll rather just be on their iPad and on the video game instead of going outside and working out. That's why we got a lot of fat kids now.
I don't know if y'all ever seen a movie called Dazed and Confused. But that's how I lived my high school. That's how I lived my high school. Hey, listen, I had a paddle and I was looking for freshmen.
Hey, it's one of my favorite movies. All right.
Hey, I was looking for a paddle and a bunch of freshmen.
Oh, but on another note, I know y'all big into UFC.
Yeah.
But I said, they said they seen John Jones and Ngannou linked up in the gym. How'd you feel that fight? Would you want to see that fight, and how you think the fight turnout would be?
Oh snap! I'd be down for that.
I ain't gonna lie, I was very hurt. I was very hurt on the Pierre and my boy Adesanya. That hurt my heart.
Oh dude, he knocked out. He hurt Adesanya.
Like Adesanya had him the whole fight.
Y'all heard about this? And I know we haven't really talked about baseball, but have y'all seen now where they're talking there's some collusion going on between the Mets and Yankees in terms of Aaron Judge and how he's in the collusion battle. Now that the MLB is kind of looking into it.
I thought Jay was getting ready to say there was some collusion going on with the Houston Astros.
No, hey, but you never know. No, but seriously, I mean, now there's collusion amongst, Aaron Judge and things like that. And they're trying to, I guess, try to keep his price down a little bit by colluding with other owners and things of that nature. And, what do you guys think about that? Now that is an issue.
That is crazy because they know how much he's about to be worth.
Yeah.
They don't want to break the market.
I think
I just thought it was interesting when I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, now they're in collusion." Oh hell!
I think there should be an investigation because that's not. I mean, that's bad business. It's real bad business practice.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad for the player, not so much for the owners. That the owners are trying to keep some of the money in their pockets.
But it is the commissioner's going to go after it. They're going to have to because there's going to be an outcry from the fans and from the players. This is bad business. If you're going to do this, I'll just hold out and I won't play.
Let's get to final thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. Deontay, you were late to the show, man. That means you get to go first. Don't let it happen again.
Roger, Sergeant. Well, like I was saying, Thursday night game today. I hope it's a good game. Green Bay look like they can put up a good game. It's a good matchup, but I don't know. It's going to be a good one. And also, man, I ain't going to lie. I'm getting tired. Chris, I don't know about you, but WWE right now, I'm trying to figure out who they got for Roman Reigns next. I just want to know who's going to be the matchup because now they're making it seem like he's Thanos. And also, I recommend everybody to see Black Panther. It was a great movie.
God, there's so many movies I need to go see. It's ridiculous, man. But Black Panther is definitely one of those that I want to go see.
It was so packed.
There's actually another one. It's about there's one called it's got African American pilots in it, and there's a World War II. I think it's called Delusion or what's the name of that damn movie? It looks really good though. Damn it.
Oh, do you like the AEW matchup card?
Huh?
I'm asking Chris, do you like the Ring of Honor? You seen the Ring of Honor Fatal 4-Way for the championship? I actually think that's a nice one.
I think it'll be pretty good. I just think they have too many matches, man. They make them pay-per-views too long.
Yeah, that is true.
Which I won't be able to watch it. I won't be able to watch it this Saturday. I have to watch it late because I'm actually going to be live streaming a pro wrestling show myself on Saturday night.
Hey, Devotion. Hey, that's the name of the movie I was thinking of. I wanted to tell you, Devotion. If you want to see a really, I haven't seen it yet, but the trailer it comes out November 23rd, so it should be out just before Thanksgiving. But it really freaking looks really good. It's about elite fighter pilots. I know what you're talking about. And Tom Hudner that become the U.S. Navy's most celebrated wingman. It's filmed actually during the Korean War, but it's got Glenn Powell, Jonathan Majors, Joe Jones, and a few other guys. But, man, I'm telling you, man, hey, I saw the preview of it, the trailer, and it just looks freaking good.
Yeah, I want to see that. And I also want to see Creed 3.
When does that come out?
March. I think March.
You're going to make me wait all the way to March to see Creed 3?
I know. I was excited.
Why every time something just totally badass comes out, I've got to wait what seems like an eon to go see.
But my last movie I seen before that, I seen the new Halloween. That new Black Panther, it was great.
Hold on, wait. Did anybody see Halloween, the end, or the newest one out?
I did.
I haven't.
Look at this. Was Mike Myers ever in it?
That was.
He was?
He was in it, but it was weird how they did it. It was stupid.
Yeah, my son's a big Michael Myers Halloween fan. He said it wasn't a bad movie. It was just different.
It wasn't bad.
That's what I'm saying. I did catch the first few minutes of it, and then I had to leave. But I didn't see any Mike Myers in there. It was really weird how they were doing. It was almost like he wasn't present. I guess maybe he came later in the movie.
It was the ghost of Michael Myers. I think it's basically the ghost of it. And the dude that was with it, well, he was basically exiled like Michael Myers was for his crimes. And I guess he went over there. They threw him out. I guess he decided to hate the world. And Michael Myers got power him inside that sewer.
So he basically became the new Michael Myers.
Yeah, start killing people and stuff. Yeah,
go back and watch this again. All right, you got me. I'm gonna go back and watch it again.
Yeah,
I got it now. I got it.
It doesn't make sense at first, but I was really paying attention at like the last 45 minutes of it.
So you gotta stay like once the middle of the movie comes around, you really have to dial in.
Yeah, you're like, all right, let me focus and see what's going on for real.
Hey, my final thoughts is, hey, look, I say give all these baseball players whatever the hell it is they want. If you want to bring Aaron Judge to the San Francisco Giants for $500 million, go ahead and do it. I love it because you know what? When they do crap like that, they have no money to go out and get anybody else. And it just makes it easier for us to knock them off. So go ahead and give these players all the money they want. I don't care. We're gonna knock you off anyway. But think about it, because that's the cancer of sports. Is we play, when a guy makes so much money that you can't build around it, whether it be basketball, baseball, or football. All it does is weaken the team for everybody else because they can't truly build around that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, let's do it. Hey, my final thought, though, honestly, is tune in. Gonzo, I know you're going to be with me tonight, or I'm going to come find you. Unscripted tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, guys.
I'll be there about 20 after.
That's fine. And you'll do Winston with Deontay.
No, I'll be there at 7.
That's fine. No. Be at 7:20. I know where you live. I'll be at your doorstep with Deontay in tow, and we'll all be doing wind sprints. It's okay.
I don't have no interview tonight. No, my final thoughts. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube at the All Sports All Plays Network. Help support All Sports All Plays. We got a lot of talent over here on the network. Like Jay mentioned, unscripted tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Also, if you missed my interview I had last night with pro wrestler, the Naptown Nightmare, Jawan Thomas, go check it out. We had a great conversation last night with Jawan. You won't be disappointed. Go check it out. You can find it YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. Then this weekend, if you're a wrestling fan, Saturday night at 7 p.m., we'll be live in Shelbyville, Indiana for New Era Pro Wrestling. It'll be a great card. And then on Sunday, we're live at Warrior Pro Wrestling in Danville, Indiana at 3 p.m. So I got 2 big wrestling shows this weekend. So if you're a wrestling fan, come join us for that. But as far as ASAP afternoon, what'd you say, Jay?
No, I was just saying, hell yeah, let's go, baby.
And as far as ASAP afternoon blitz, we'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. On behalf of Jay, Deontay, I'm Chris Gonzo Gonzalez. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for joining us, and everybody have a good day.
All Sports All Plays. Yeah. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365, we're making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.